Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Creation Science Theatre. I am your host, Dr. Dino. Along with my guests, we have Maya and Ember.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
That was a nifty opening. It had a nice boogie to it.
Hey, everybody.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Thank you. I thought it was fun, and I've needed an intro for, I don't know, what are we closing in on, 5 months here?
Yeah. I say that I'm going to get an intro together one of these days, and that's still true. One of these days.
I mean, do you know Peter? The guy who runs Arin's streams?
Oh, I was going to say Peter was. There's a couple of Peters in the community, but yeah, Peter, going to go get it. Gonna
go for it.
He will volunteer to make an intro for you.
Peter shows me out all the time. It's not like he doesn't know that I have a thingamabob. I don't know.
Yeah, he's very pressed for time. He's happy to help where he can, but his time is very short.
I can't imagine helping Aaron out. Yeah, it's got to be a full-time job in and of itself.
He does Aaron, Jackson Wheat, and there's another one, and I always forget it. I'm a bad community member.
It's fine. Let's see, for
Jefferson
tonight
Spatchcock.
though.
There we go.
What?
Jefferson Spatchcock. He produces for him too.
Okay. Sorry. All
really? I did not know that.
Oh dear. Anywho, tonight we have a fun topic. We are going to be talking about how evolution causes racism. Which, oh boy, does it ever?
Woo.
Yeah, and we're gonna pretend that creationists actually have a problem with racism.
Yeah. They certainly have a history.
They have a solid history with racism, but that should prevent us from understanding evolution and not worshiping their God. Because reasons.
Oh boy. I mean, the weird thing is one of the videos we're going to cover actually does mention a racist Christian group, which, I mean, props to them. No props for anything else in the video, but at least they acknowledge that.
I guess acknowledgement is the first step.
Even creationists can't be 100% wrong all the time.
Hard as they try.
They do try, yeah.
Hard.
Oh boy. Well, we might as well go ahead and get started. Our first speaker for tonight is the illustrious Ken Ham. So I'm sure everyone in the chat is well familiar. If you've been following this series at all, you've heard from him a bunch. Let us begin.
You know, when Darwin wrote his book on the origin of species by means of natural selection, The rest of the title was Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. Now, that book was
Wow.
about animals, but
Oh boy, yeah, starting off strong.
Less than 10 seconds and he's already misdescribing things. Like, yes, that's the title, but he didn't mean race in the same way Ken means race.
Yeah, the odd thing is languages evolve. And what one word means in one time does not necessarily mean it'll always mean that.
Nothing is allowed to evolve ever.
Yep,
Especially
that's
not
why
the Bible.
Beowulf
That
is
never
written in modern
changes.
English. English has been English since the Tower of Babel.
I'm pretty sure they don't. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they only read the Bible.
Yeah.
Sometimes not
Yeah.
even that.
For anyone who
Exactly.
for anyone who's not familiar, that title is basically just referring to a group of organisms that remain alive. Like they managed to
Right.
outcompete the competition. In modern day, we would probably use species or genre, stuff like that.
Right.
Or as Logan Fisher says, see also kind.
I would pay for a definition of a kind.
You know, I was ranting. Somebody was covering an AIG. Oh, it was Brentley at Punk Apostate. He had Georgia from AIG was talking about the kinds on Noah's Ark, and I had to just grumble a little because in Hebrew, Greek, Latin, and most of the English translations it says species. It's only a couple of the more popular ones, like I think King James says kind. So the Bible doesn't actually say kind. It's just a couple of lazy translators didn't understand what species was when they were switching it into English.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, the KJV was translated in was it the 1500s or the 1600s?
Early 16s. I think 1611 is the standardized version, but it took them a couple decades.
Amber, you're missing the whole point, though. You can't let anything like a lazy translation stop you from grifting for cash.
That's true. I'm
True.
very anti-capitalist, which makes me un-American, which makes me a heretic.
And an evil commie.
Yes.
Oh dear. Ooh, sorry. I was just reminded that there's a debate on MDD. Depending on how quick we go through this, I might wind up doing an after show for that.
Oh yeah. T-Rock and Kentucky.
I will be in the chat watching MDD.
Oh dear.
I'll be in the chat watching that MDD. Like I get like migraines just listening to it.
Yeah, debating T-Rock wasn't fun.
He's a very resilient rock.
Yeah, I have had one debate lately, or well, one debate ever so far that I didn't want to hurt my opponent after. Well, not quite that. I did not wish doom upon my opponent.
Well, you are a dino. I mean, biting your enemies is kind of your thing.
I shall summon the meteor. Oh, wait, and it looks like there is already an after show planned, so never mind.
You know what? Looks like it's just me and you, Ember. We're gonna have to throw our own party in the Duck Dino.
Yeah, I'll just leave the stream and go start another one.
A party!
It would not be the first time something like that has happened.
It would not. Germania is
before.
Very, infamous for doing that. He would leave his own channels if you get too like technical, sciencey, or mathy, and go find another more quote unquote fun stream. Because I do what he's doing.
Oh dear.
at the end, in the last chapter, he said, in the distant future, light will be thrown on the origin of man and his history. 12 years later, he wrote the book, The Descent.
Yes, but I don't believe he was referring to the descent of man. Darwin knew that more and more fossils were being discovered, and we were uncovering more of Earth's history. Like, he knew that was happening, so he probably expected that trend to continue. Much like another trend we'll hear from Ken in this presentation.
Descent of Man. And The Descent of Man inherently is a racist book. It really is. Darwinian evolution inherently is a racist.
Sorry, but book written in the 1800s is racist. Stop the presses. Stop the literal presses.
Yeah, and I say to everybody, it's just I used to get mad when people were like, "Oh, we can't, quote unquote judge the morality of other times," and I'm like, the hell we can't. But it is really problematic when you do that. Because when you're looking at that, you're usually looking at like people on the individual level, and there are things that were just understood that a lot of people had to come to terms with before they could move forward. It's not any different than, when scientists first got their head around, that the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. And, the first thing scientists did was say, okay, well, we'll agree that the planet, Earth isn't a planet, goes around the sun. But then the sun goes around the Earth. It's like we stopped to be the center of the universe. I'm like, it kind of blew my mind when the first time I heard that. They were just like, okay. Copium in the 1500s. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm saying all that to say it's hard to.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's hard for people. Like Darwin was brought up in a time where, if you're white and male, like it was obvious that you were superior to everything else. And so it took a lot of time, and we see that. Like it took a lot of time for people to kind of get their minds outside of that and to move forward. So if you're working within that framework, then yeah, you're coming from a racist perspective. And, I mean, it's only his fault in so far as he perpetuates that, but I don't know.
Sure. And I understand what you're saying about not making excuses for people being racist in the past. I do feel it is important to acknowledge, though, that standards have changed throughout history.
Yes.
Like, there has been, like, if they were born in our time, would they still have these beliefs? Considering a lot of the stuff Darwin thought,
that's my point.
I'm not sure he would.
Right. Yeah, and that's my point. Like, he's working within the framework of the time. I don't think people understand how like deeply ingrained like the social indoctrination is. I mean, I think there's going to be a time when, like in the future, when our great grandchildren are looking at us like monsters because we eat meat, or something. And for us, it wouldn't occur to do, we were raised like that. It wouldn't occur to us to do anything else. And, it's socially acceptable. So we, when in Rome.
Yeah, it's just like anything else that we do. You can't have laptops until you invent electricity. You have to build on pre-existing stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And again, Darwin was born in a racist society. I mean, it was just what he was operating within. So, I mean, I'm not trying to champion Darwin or his racist views, but I don't think that it's not like eugenics, where they're like actively trying to suppress people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we can actually separate his wrong beliefs from his right beliefs with accurate science.
Sure. And also, just Maya, you might want to check your internet connection. You keep dropping out pretty often.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Oh, I saw
Yeah.
that too, but I thought it was me because I'm in, potato land.
I mean, I figure that because you're not dropping out for me at all, Ember, but Maya is.
No, you guys aren't dropping out
Chat's
for me at
keeping
all.
up
All right, let me.
and all that stuff.
Yeah, let me double check some stuff, and I am listening.
10-4. I'll go ahead and hit the play then.
This is philosophy, but it's taught in our public schools as fact. Now, it's interesting if you look at some things that have happened. Like recently, the American Library Association had an award named after Laura Ingalls Wilder because of her Little House on the Prairie series. And they decided, when you look back and read that series, oh, there was racism in there. And so they decided that no longer will they allow that award to be named after her. And we've heard of books being banned and all sorts of things because of so-called racism. Actually, if you read The Little House on the Prairie, Laura Ingalls, she was actually fighting against racism against the Indians, if you read it in the right context. And it's in the context of history that those.
So I have not read Little House on the Prairie. I do not know anything about it. Other than I know my sister read it when she was in middle school.
Yeah, I can't comment on the contents either. The TV show was depressingly boring, so when I found out there was a book, my view was pre-contaminated from the TV show. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna pass.
I never knew there was a TV show.
It's old, but so am I.
You're not that old.
I don't know. I was just looking in the mirror today and I'm noticing a whole lot of gray. Now, maybe that's because of, tremendous stress recently, but still, it's there.
Hush, I think we're around the same age.
I mean, my dad started getting gray hair when he was 25. Just happens.
Books are written. Here's the interesting thing. The girl portrayed in the books was definitely not racist. If you're going to say you've got to ban a library award because of those books, they should be banning Darwinian evolution from the school system.
So, one of those is a book series. The other is a scientific concept supported by miles of evidence. Just because the guy who proposed it had racist views does not negate all of the evidence we have, Ken.
Yeah, Isaac Newton had some pretty astonishingly racist quips. Does that mean we should ban all mathematics from schools?
Name me a public figure from the 1800s that we would not consider racist by modern standards. I challenge you to find one.
Yeah, well, I'm done with my list. That was short.
Oh, do you have a list?
Yes, it is 0 people long.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. Dear. I wonder what all the preachers of the time were saying about race up until the 1970s. That'd be interesting.
Oh, they're still saying those things. Remember, the churches tend to be about 100 years behind society because they get their morals from the magic book, which is why they're constantly playing catch up whenever society determines a thing is no longer acceptable. The line is now here, and if you cross it, you're a bad person. It's only decades and decades later that the church finally starts making apologies and saying, we shouldn't have done that, because that's clearly not acceptable, as one would expect from people who have access to ultimate objective morality from their book.
Yeah. How odd. How odd.
But of course, that's not what they want to do, so they ignore that. It's interesting. How many of you here have read The Origin of Species by Darwin? Have actually read it? I see a couple of hands.
Oh, sorry, I do have to point this out. Al Trucker is still racist. God damn it, Al.
We're canceling
How many have
you
read
now,
The
Al.
Descent of Man?
What was that?
I said we have to cancel Al now.
Yep. Al, you're canceled. We have to slash your tires.
I'm not sure I see any hands. Do you know most school teachers, majority, have never read The Descent of Man? Do you know, in fact, most evolutionists don't even know what Darwin taught? You read his books and you'll see what he taught. That's why the late Harvard paleontologist Stephen Jay Gould said this: biological arguments for racism may have been common before 1850, but they increased by orders of magnitude following the acceptance of evolutionary theory.
I would be very curious as to the context for that quote.
Yeah, so he's actually not wrong. In the same way as we discovered geological stuff like plate tectonics, as soon as the creationists got their hands on that, it exponentially increased the amount of flood arguments that we see running around today. Because whenever you give creationists a little bit of science that is easily misinterpreted to their ends, they will misinterpret it to their ends. Shock and surprise, I know.
Oh, we have a new avenue to oppress a group? Ooh, how do we do that? Or, well, get our way just in general, I guess.
Now, when in doubt, grift your ass off.
Yeah, I mean,
really?
we're talking about people who have been deliberately misinterpreting the Bible for as long as there's been money. Does it surprise anyone that they would deliberately misinterpret every other book to the same end?
No, Ember, that's just your evolutionary bias creeping in. How dare you slander the people? How dare? Oh, boy.
In Darwin's book, The Descent of Man, he says, this is just one example, at some future period, the civilized races will exterminate the savage races. The break between man and his nearest allies will then be wider than the Caucasians and some ape as low as a baboon, instead of now is between the Negro, Australian Aborigines, and the gorilla. Do you realize what he's saying? The Australian Aborigines and people from Africa are closer to the apes than the Caucasians.
Again, yes, we acknowledge Darwin had some racist views.
I don't think that's what Darwin was saying, though. It sounds like he's saying the Caucasians would wipe out everybody else, leaving nothing but the Caucasians and the other actual ape species.
Maybe I misheard him. See, I mean, there is an ellipse there.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't
not
know.
picking up from the prior sentence.
It's not super important because, as we constantly say, Darwin's philosophical thoughts don't actually matter because the science either stands or falls on its own. And the science has moved on quite a bit since his time anyway. We don't need to know what Darwin thought to learn about evolution today.
Yeah. He was right about some things. He was wrong about a lot of others.
Wow, it's almost like he's human or
What?
something.
Scary.
He's like the saint of secularism, though, right?
Sorry,
Yeah.
my cat just
Yeah, I mean,
decided
we
to
all
sit up
pay
and
homage to holy
Hi, buddy.
Darwin.
Cat attack.
hiding from mom.
Just
Is that what
blasphemy.
you're doing? Okay.
Between the Negro, Australian Aborigines, and the gorilla. Do you realize what he's saying? The Australian Aborigines and people from Africa are closer to the apes than the Caucasians. How's that for racism? That's what Darwinian evolution's all about. That's why in 1924 there was a new...
It's what it's all about.
Well, to Ken it
No,
is,
he's
because
thinking of the hokey
remember
pokey.
the
God.
entire thrust of creationism isn't even necessarily Bible true, so everything else has to fit. It's me and my tribe are the special, chosen, magically created people that God put here to rule the earth. And the fact the Bible seems to back that up is the reason why they're so Bible heavy. It's not because they believe the Bible. They buy the Bible because it says what they already believe.
I mean, does it though?
Well, they say it does.
They do say that.
And it's apparently good enough for their following. So, who are we to argue?
I'll fucking argue.
New York Tribune newspaper published that said the missing links were found in Australia, the Australian Aborigines. There were scientists from England and Germany who sent people to Australia to hunt down the Aborigines, to herd them over cliffs or into swamps, and with instructions on how to skin them and boil up their skulls for specimens in the name of evolution. Do you know in 1925, the year of the Scopes trial, John Scopes supposedly taught from a particular biology textbook about the evolution of man and so on. And actually that was a setup by the ACLU. But did you know the textbook that was sort of the center of this trial in a way, and a major biology textbook used in public schools in America in the 1900s and was used in 1925 said this: the races of man, and based on Darwinian evolution, at the present time there exist upon the earth 5 races, the highest type of all represented by the Caucasians, represented by the civilized white inhabitants of Europe and America. Generations of kids in the public school.
A textbook from 1914 had racist information in it.
A textbook during Jim Crow had information that leads to the further suppression of the people who were already being repressed.
For crying out loud, Kent.
Much like there are textbooks that partisans are putting into circulation today that say things like trans people don't exist and gay people are going to go to hell. In textbooks in classrooms, every era, when the theologues get a bone in their craw, they're going to try to put it into the textbooks.
Yeah.
Pain. Some pain.
Schools based on evolution were taught the Caucasians are the highest race. And we wonder why we have...
Sorry. In other news, people were sexist in 1914. Yeah?
What?
I mean, they absolutely were. Certainly the church.
I am shocked.
Like, maybe we should take the church out of school as well.
I mean, you're saying that like they aren't sexist now and just blatant about it?
Right. I mean, it's not sexist when, it's the fact that God decreed it.
It's not sexist when Deus Vult.
They don't see a problem with sexism, honestly. Like, not even the women.
Yeah, it's absolutely lovely.
That's a word. That is a word.
You humans are strange creatures.
Yeah. We are.
So much racism and prejudice in our culture. Now, of course, there's all sorts of other factors. I understand that, but I'm saying we've got to recognize that Darwinian evolution itself is inherently a racist philosophy. And in fact, I like to encourage the church. I want to suggest to us that we get rid of the term races. And I'll tell you why. When you go back,
You know what? This is
Does he
something
want to cherry pick the Bible again?
well, it's just like I do advocate for not judging people based on their race. So
I mean, that would be great if people would actually do
agree
it.
with him on this. I think,
Oh, yeah.
maybe, unless I misunderstand him.
I'd love it if we could get rid of all the stupid tribal labels, race and gender and nationality, and to some extent, even religion. Like, it shouldn't be Christian versus Muslim versus atheist. People should be judged based on the crazy nonsense they do, not what team they're on.
Yep. Now, are there differences between humans? Yes, humans are a very variable race. However, they appear to have the same capabilities in all the ways that matter. So it doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, you know what they're doing, right? Like the same. I mean, we see them doing it now. With the natives and saying, well, it's racist if you try to keep native children just with native within their tribe. They should be able to be allowed out so that white people can adopt them. Or it's racist to acknowledge Black history. We should just acknowledge white American history, and that way nobody feels left out. This is all part of that. Like, you know what?
Sorry, we should acknowledge white history. You mean history class? Because that's all that's taught.
But yeah. But white history, because white Americans are the only true Americans.
Yeah.
And then there's all of us. I don't know. They came over in caravans. I don't know what the fuck they think. I really don't understand the thought behind it's just the hatred behind the natives, if nothing else.
I do hate people sometimes. I'm sorry. that yes. Might be specious, but I hate people.
No, that's valid. We all have moments where
it can
we're
be
just
exhausting.
Like, freaking humans. Why?
To the Thomas Jefferson and so on, when you talked about races, you talked about an English race or an Irish race. The word race has changed meaning. The word race used to mean cultural group or ethnic group. But because of the influence of evolution, a lot of people today...
So you acknowledge it used to mean different things.
I mean, this is like... I mean, I'm sure he get... I don't want to punch him in the face. I don't. But these are the times when humans can be exhausting.
Listen, if his ark flooded, I wouldn't give him a bucket.
I mean, he sucks enough he can just siphon it out himself. But yeah, I actually, as you know, I'm, half Irish. And so when I learned history about how New York and Boston used to have those Irish need not apply signs on businesses, and how there was, serious racism against Irish people, or nationalityism, whatever you want to call it in today's lingo. I was like, how did that change? Why are Irish and Italian people accepted today, but the other races, like, African descended people, Asian descended people, are still burdened with derogatory stereotypes? And the weird thing is, nothing actually did change. Just Americans got dumber. Americans, uniquely among, pink-toned people, no longer have the ability to distinguish a person's national heritage from their facial characteristics. Like if you talk to a European, they can tell a German from a French person, from an English person, from an Irish person based on their phenotype, their how
I
they
mean,
look.
It depends.
Americans can't.
Like it's a bit more complicated, because America's a huge melting pot, but I can tell fairly reliably. That said,
A
I
few
have
people
watched
can,
a
sure.
lot of European television.
Yeah.
I have a hard time telling the accents apart, so I'm out of this.
American accents or European accents?
Oh yeah, no, I can pretty much get you down to the state, but from an American accent, unless you've moved. But yeah, European accents. I don't have enough experience with them.
I mean, it really doesn't help that there's about 15 different accents just in England alone. That's just one small island. And you
I
can
think
go
it's
to
like
all the
40.
areas in the area and you get to different voices too.
I mean, Americans can't even tell Irish from Scottish accents. So.
True.
Yeah, that's sort of what I mean. Like I'm broad brushing like crazy, but as they say, stereotypes are sometimes valid first order approximations.
Stereotypes exist for a reason. Often not for a good reason, but they exist for a reason.
They've been indoctrinated to believe there's lower races, higher races, primitive races, and savage races, and all the rest of it. So people, I'm going to challenge us as a church. We need to get rid of the term races. I want to suggest to us we use the term people groups instead. Because here's the other thing. I will say to you that people like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton are fueling racism by the very terminology they use, which actually is incorrect. Because they talk about the races and the black people.
Can I just say something real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to say one thing. Fuck this guy.
I agree, except don't, because he definitely has kids. It'd be nice if he didn't.
Yeah, we don't need any more. He needs a Darwin Award is what he needs.
Oh my.
I mean, I understand that people don't like Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson, but like me calling out your racism is not racism on my part. I'm just going to leave that there.
I don't know who those people are, but I don't pay attention to the news at all.
So
Look, I'm a science
really
nerd.
long story.
I don't
Really,
look at the
really
news.
short.
The news stresses me out a lot.
They're both ministers.
Remember, are you old enough to remember when they were a thing? Not that I don't know.
I'm missing a lot of words there.
One of them is still doing something, but like they used to be really big. They used to be unavoidable, but I don't know if you were born yet.
Born yet when?
I said they used to be unavoidable, but I don't know if he was born yet.
Oh, sorry. I just realized that Beamsy is here.
It's a Beamsy. Yeah, I
it,
remember
Beamsy.
Reverends Jackson and Sharpton. I also remember the political side of what they did too.
Yeah. Okay. Beamsy, hi. Are you like from across the pond or something?
Yes, that's why I came on to mostly apologize for sending you this moron.
Oh wait, are you from Australia?
Yep.
Well, we
Oh,
know
God
Australia.
damn it. Take it back.
Exist.
We don't want it. You know what? I am totally fine with dropping him into the middle of the goddamn ocean.
Yeah, we can go halfway. We can send him halfway home, and then we can just drop. That way, he
Yeah, literally halfway. Drop him in Point Nemo.
I can get behind this idea.
Worst present ever.
Well,
No,
okay, maybe not the worst, but up there.
he actually tried setting up a creationist museum in Australia, and he was literally laughed out of academia here.
Left. Oh
I heard
yeah,
about
he was a
that.
teacher, wasn't
So
he?
proud. Yeah. So much easier to grift in
Yeah.
America.
I mean, see,
I
Our
mean,
politicians like us
Yeah.
stupid.
Yep, he looked around, saw that we had a Kent Hovind, and went, "Oh, that place is perfect."
mm. Well, yeah.
So Hunter Biden's laptop says Kent Ham, sucks in bed. You just need to admit to yourself that this is something you already know. I agree.
I wouldn't put
Yeah.
past it saying that Ken Ham is a catcher.
Eh. Oh,
No.
we got about 30 seconds left on this.
And the white people,
Yeah, I just
there
I
are
just
no
needed to make that
races.
point.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm?
Or you said you
Oh,
had to
I can make
a
it
point?
again. Fuck this guy.
Oh.
No, yeah, I said I just needed to make that point.
Oh, okay.
And I'm happy to make it again. Yeah, fuck that guy.
And there really are no truly black or white people.
Oh, not even that.
I mean, which isn't untrue, but like, I love the race baiting intermixed with it. It's fun.
That awkward moment when a person is saying super racist shit and pretending they're the least racist person.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a Nazi.
So much fun. Oh, well, I'm
Yar.
sure this next one will be a little less infuriating.
Depending on
I
who's doing the
doubt
talking.
that.
This is the dark side of evolution. What they don't want you to see. Oh, right. This part actually does have a bit I'm going to skip because they play some propaganda, let's say, from a specific time period in the 20th century from a certain country.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Why am I surprised?
I mean, I'm probably already screwed, but I have no idea if that is copyrighted or not. I should have.
Oh,
Yeah, you should. I mean, if they're not talking, you should probably just.
Yeah.
So I can help a little bit on that
distasteful.
one. AIG, particularly AIG Canada, is all their shit custom produced. So it's copyrighted, but it's not like you're going to get a musician flag for it. It's just going to link up to the AIG video.
I mean, that. I'm not sure that's
Yeah,
better.
and you might want to stop every 15 seconds or less.
Yeah, pluses and minuses.
Or provide commentary.
I'm guessing those are Australian Aboriginals.
I don't know.
They look like similar ones.
intim-
They look like the sort of framework that we would see in Central Australia. I've just never seen them with that sort of afro.
What would you call that hairstyle? I don't know what I'd call that hairstyle.
They're afros.
Looks
They are?
they look
I
like
thought
dreads.
afros were like more like big, poofy,
Yeah,
like all around.
Yeah.
they're still dreadlocks, but they're not locked together
Those look
into
like
the neat.
dreads.
They are dreadlocks. An afro is dreadlocks.
Afro's not dreadlocks.
They kind of are, but those are
Afro is just like the way our hair naturally grows out of our head.
those I would call they have a very unsightly term for those sort of dreadlocks.
Yeah, I don't know that they're necessarily styled.
Yeah,
It reminds
I
me
mean-
a lot of, when fuzzy
Right.
critters, their hair gets tangled and it forms mats. You can get it on any kind of mammal, and that's what it makes me think of, is that clumps of hair is matted together.
I don't know.
meaning, as we might conceive the exploitation of less fortunate people as animalistic sideshow freaks, this whole industry helped propagate a much more insidious belief that gained steam and became more normalized in Western society increasingly to this day. And that's the concept of scientific racism. The most egregious result from it was the eugenics movement and resultant horrors of the Holocaust and other genocides.
Well,
Darwin's publications
so
dear.
it should be pointed out that eugenics, the basis of it precedes Darwin considerably. It arose in the United States as this idea that various skin tones are inherently superior, and that you could use controlled breeding in order to direct humanity towards a better fate. When Darwin published, just like AIG likes to seize on certain information and cherry pick it and misuse it in order to further their ends, the eugenics movement cherry picked from Darwin and used that to further their own ends. But it's not based on Darwin. Just elements of Darwin were selected that seemed to support the pre-existing ideas.
And Darwin's work is on the theory of natural selection. He wasn't really exclusively on evolution. He was just talking about the mechanism that he was observing, and eugenics goes against natural selection.
Yeah, it's literally artificial selection.
Right.
It's human selection. But
Yes.
yeah, I think I'm going to take this opportunity to pop out because my internet is still a potato and bad things, so forth. But I'm glad I got to play for some of this because I miss hanging out with you guys. It's frustrating, not being able to do the things that I like to do. But at least we got to have some fun.
I know. I love talking to you in streams. You're gonna have to come back on the show one day, like whenever you stable out.
Yeah, but I'll watch from the side chat at least until I pass out.
Sounds good. Have a good one.
Yeah, later, folks.
Night, Ember.
All right.
popularized this concept into mainstream acceptance. Because many now felt that there was scientific justification for believing that some persons were less human than others, while others were superior. It provided intellectual jet fuel to the ideological concept of the supposed superiority of certain people groups over others.
That is a phrase, intellectual jet fuel. I kind of like the phrase, and I'm
Intellectual
angry
jet
that
fuel?
he introduced me to it.
Intellectual jet fuel.
Like, just accelerates thoughts is what I'm guessing it's supposed to mean.
I mean, it answers in Genesis. Like, who fucking knows what they mean?
Yeah, fair.
And many now felt that they or their race were literally higher on the evolutionary ladder than some of the more primitive and less developed races. Even the American paleontologist, evolutionary biologist, and historian of science, Dr. Stephen Jay Gould, admitted biological arguments for racism may have been common before 1859, but they increased by orders of magnitude following the acceptance of evolutionary theory.
Yes, biological arguments, I think, is the important bit there.
It's one of those situations. A hammer is a great tool, but you could also use it for smacking people's heads in. Evolution is a great tool for expressing what's happening, but you can also use it to make it look terrible.
Yeah, but if you didn't have a hammer, you could use anything else on your workbench. They just had a new tool, so they used it. They were already doing racist crap before.
Yes. It's more about the people than the actual tool itself.
Understand that Gould was
are
an
the tools.
atheist.
Yeah, I can agree with that. At least in this guy's case.
Yeah.
a Marxist, and a giant amongst naturalists. He worked at the American Museum of Natural History. A Harvard professor and one of the most influential authors of popular science of his generation, Gould was also one of the most honest evolutionists of his day, and was willing to admit that evolutionary ideas often had negative consequences. That racism increased by orders of magnitude is no overstatement. In the
Not racism, biological arguments for racism.
Okay, wait. I think I'm missing something, and so I'm more aware of the science of what scientists did with their racist ideologies more than the ideological background that led to the racist practices. So
I think what I'm trying to say is, like, people were already racist, and they were already making racist arguments. It's just now there were more people using biological or biology-based arguments because of a newfound understanding of how biology works. Well, misunderstanding of how biology works.
okay.
There's also
I
a
can agree
second
with
thing
that.
you need to understand.
Mhm.
There's a second thing you have to understand. Have you ever really talked to someone who's gone really deep down into the sciences?
Like a racist?
No, as in someone who has dedicated their life to examining things within science, and their entire understanding of everything around them is science. And if you ask them a question about their topic, it
My
will just
co-host
be,
is a physicist.
Yeah.
have you
my
ever,
co-host is a physicist. I'm gonna.
do you
Yes.
notice how badly
When I ask him about what he does, I can't like understand what he's saying. I mean, they're all words.
now,
But like physics, right?
has he ever, you can see that he has trouble expressing to a layman what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's not a teacher.
Yeah. Not a communicator. There's a scientific communicator is very different to both a teacher and a normal person. To actually get an understanding of what they do in the deep end of science, you need someone who's called a scientific communicator to actually express it. But a lot of the stuff that is written by people with Dr. Weasel's passion, but not the ability to actually express it to people at a level of people to actually put it.
So, like, he's trying to communicate a high level idea, but he doesn't know how to break it down.
Not just that,
Right.
they'll also
I understand that's what he's saying.
They'll write a paper all about the differences they found between subject group A, subject group B, and subject group C. And these are all the fascinating variations we've found within these people. And they would express it more about all the information and all these new discoveries they've made. And they wouldn't put anything in there about the similarities or anything else like that. The way it would be then worded by someone who actually takes that can say, look at this racist biologist that went through and looked at these people and see all the differences he was pointing out and saying that these are better or worse. That's one of the downsides of scientists writing books.
I think you have to. Yeah, a scientist's audience is rarely the lay person, and I do appreciate it when it is. But yeah,
it's something I try and explain to people because I'm not that deep into it, but I've also seen this problem on many occasions in which take a study on Australian Aboriginals, talking about the variations in the skin tone and how they actually have actual physiological differences that affect them. and they wrote studies about it.
Mhm.
And these studies, which
Mhm.
could be used to assist medically, are being used to show how racist these people are.
That I'm familiar with. So are you saying that something was written and Answers TV is not understanding it correctly?
No, it's not a matter of understanding it correctly. They're presenting it in the wrong way.
They're misrepresenting it.
Yeah, like
Maybe. Yeah.
the Descent of Man.
No shit.
Yeah. The Descent of Man talks about individual races and how there are different races of man, and they're going to
Right.
say because of this and the way that he ordered them in his book, the races there are better races than others. But that's not what Charles Darwin was writing about. He was just saying that there is differences within individual humans enough to make it that we are subspecies from each other, but we are still the same one species.
Right.
But within humans, we use the term race instead of subspecies.
And I don't think viewing humans as different subspecies is very. I don't think that's accepted nowadays.
We're a bit too close to be
No,
a subspecies, but that's the way
Like
he
it-
was looking at it.
Yeah, we're not seen as different. Yeah, there's no. I think the scientific consensus is that there is no difference.
Essentially,
Um,
there hasn't been near enough time
Yeah.
or near enough mutations. Like, you pick any two humans from anywhere on the earth, they can make a child. That's not true for
Mhm.
every subspecies. That's not true
Yeah.
for every species. Or anything.
Yeah, I mean, just like African elephants and Indian elephants. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell they're clearly elephants, but I don't know. And all of it is just like kind of bullshit because like we determine the levels. They don't have to be. We just decided they were.
They are they at least were semi-arbitrary. I think we're trying to make it less arbitrary now by actually defining it better, but the convention is very heavily ingrained.
And the other problem is when
Yeah.
they make a comparison between humans, they make a comparison with dogs, and the variations between dogs are so much more drastic than anything else, and they're still
Right.
they're still
Visually,
infertile.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're still all dogs. Chihuahua, Great Dane, same species.
Yes.
So yeah, things can look different and not have any. Yeah.
So
Still be the same species and
to this comment here,
incredibly inbred.
humans are horrifically inbred as a species. Compared to most other large
I blame
mammal
Noah.
species, at least. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Trucker the
Oh no, Beamsy. We have to entertain the masses.
Issue that when you're making a comparison between dogs and any other animal you put out there, because dogs were specifically bred for a purpose, and others were bred exclusively for aesthetic reasons.
Yeah, which is true. I mean, but like, yeah, most domesticated animals were.
Not necessarily. Some are. Most domesticated animals were bred for one, maybe two or three purposes. Like Bovidae have three main purposes. Well, two now, but they used to have three. Sheep have four. Goats had two. And so the variation between the breeds are not as...
It's not as drastic.
Yeah. Like if I show you the skull of a pit bull or then a British bulldog, then a Great Dane, the skulls would look like from completely different species.
Yeah.
I mean, I was just agreeing with you when you said domestic animals were bred for, or dogs were bred for a reason. And I was like, I'm pretty sure all domesticated animals were bred for a reason. But that was very interesting.
Yeah.
But the
4 different reasons that sheep are bred. I will take that with me if I ever see that category in Jeopardy.
my interest in the idea of how domesticated animals came into it is why cats are not fully domesticated.
Cats are gods. They let us know every day. They cannot be tamed. Like, we're just stupid for trying.
No, that's not the reason, but don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Also, is someone
love how he
building a
always takes
house
you
behind
seriously.
me? My girlfriend she's making cookies while listening to Doom music. She
Doom music?
she
Is that
loves
anything like trap
music
music?
from Doom.
Okay.
You know, the video game where they decided to use a freaking chainsaw
Yeah,
as an
yeah.
instrument.
Only in one of them.
God. You know, where's my chat? Where are my people at? See, you guys understand my quick wit, and I don't feel appreciated today.
Well, no,
Spackle's
they're
over
in
there.
here.
She gets me.
They I don't know if you use StreamYard too much. They're the YouTube icons with a link above them. Those are yours.
Yeah. Holy Spackle, I love you. I think I missed a birthday. Shout out to my girl.
Same year that Darwin's Descent of Man was released, Thomas Huxley, commonly called Darwin's bulldog, described people with light skin as bigger brained and smaller jawed.
Sorry, we were just talking about science communicators. I'd kind of argue that Huxley was Darwin's science communicator, or at least the one he was closest to. What do you think, Babesy?
Huxley did have his issues as well.
Oh, I definitely I agree. He did, but like he spoke about Darwin's ideas publicly quite a bit.
And was able to express them a lot better than Darwin was.
Yeah. So we were just talking about that, so I figured I'd point out, oh, I think he was. Kinda. Oh, well, I'll be sure to share that, Sydney. Thank you.
And had the following to say about people with dark skin. No rational man, cognizant of the facts, believes that the average Negro is the equal, still less the superior, of the white man. While it's almost never mentioned in
1800s man racist.
Wait,
Oh no.
no rational man.
It's the same as with
Right. No rational man. No white man. I mean, you know, we can just go with that. Brown people are savages. Let's kill them and steal their land.
I will not make excuses, but
For Jesus.
very big. I mean, in general, I will acknowledge that some people have done good things, but that does not mean that they were completely good people.
And when it comes down to attack and take other people's shit, that's been human history 101 for pretty much most of our history.
Look, we're not talking about like European history or Asian history or African history. We're talking about like the holy pope of atheism, Darwin, and his I don't know, the zeitgeist at his time.
That's the problem with afflicting a modern zeitgeist on a historic zeitgeist. It just doesn't match up.
We talked
What
about
doesn't
that a
match
little
up?
earlier. Like we I feel you can judge people for their past actions, but you have to understand it in the
Well,
context
yeah.
of the time.
of that time. Sure.
Of
I
that.
don't like. I'm just disagreeing with the whataboutism.
Yeah,
The too cold clay. It's like everybody killed everybody. Like, all right, that's great. But Darwin made that comment at a time when, like, England and France and Spain were on this like holy crusade to like have all the land. We're oppressing all the brown people, and then, you know, saying that they were right to do it because they weren't, what do you call it? Oh God, not industrialized, but like
civilized enough.
evolved enough. It's just a bad word.
No, they used
Civilized. Thank you. God damn it. I'm sorry. I've been working all day. Yeah, civilized enough to keep their own land, so they had to use it their way, or the right way, which you know, meant profits for them.
Mm.
And I'm not making this up. It's not hyperbole. They actually said this.
Yeah, they used the term savages.
People, even in India, yeah, they had to be taught how to use the land the proper way, which meant in a way that provides capitalism for England, more or less, or France or Spain. You know, whoever the king was that was genociding the locals.
It wasn't referred to as a
Good
capitalist
times.
system, but that was a profiteering system at the time. But the land,
Okay,
the land was
fine.
used to benefit the crown.
Imperialism. Imperialism. Yes.
You two are agreeing, I think.
Yes. Beamsy likes to argue. Damn it, Beamsy.
No, unfortunately, I'm very meticulous when it comes to wording. That's why I didn't want to say what was in my brain when I saw those two with the.
I'm just going to get more wine. Feel free to be
drunk Maya.
pedantic. You know, because there's going to be people in my chat that are calling me out on my, you know, it's like, Maya, you didn't use the right word. Like, I've been adulting all fucking day. I just want to like laugh at creationist with my glass of wine. Look, I'm going to talk shit in the side chat on stream.
Oh boy.
You know we love you, Maya.
I don't like all this pedantic being.
Well, here, if you can still hear it, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. Is that all right? I'm gonna guess. Okay.
In today's popular
This wine
articles,
isn't vodka.
movies,
Sorry, what?
This wine isn't vodka.
Do you wish it was vodka?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I feel like I should have vodka.
Is it that bad?
I mean, between like Beamsy and like Ham, I just feel like I haven't had enough vodka. Like there's still a couple. There's like more than one brain cell swimming around in the brain. Like, holy shit.
Dear.
or school curricula.
Look, in my defense, Kent Ham.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you finish your story.
Right. I'm just gonna hit play.
Racial superiority of Caucasians.
Sorry, were you about to say something?
Okay.
Was boldly described in Darwin's treatise, one that Huxley and many others fully embraced. Darwin declared, at some future period, not very distant as measured by centuries, the civilized races of man will almost certainly exterminate and replace the savage races.
Yes, and in the context of that quote, he was describing what was going on at the time and had been going on before his time.
Yes,
he wasn't advocating for it. He was describing what he saw.
The next chapter also goes into, and this is an unfortunate thing for them, the beauty of the individuals seen on the Far East are stunning and far exceed anything that I have experienced.
I didn't know that, but interesting.
It's quote mine. You might as well just bring up the eye when it comes to Darwin.
Yeah, that's fair.
At the same time, the anthropomorphous apes will no doubt be exterminated. The break between man and his nearest allies will then be wider, even than the Caucasian and some ape as
End
low as a
quote.
baboon, instead of as now between the Negro or Australian and the gorilla. Although the more Victorian-sounding terminology he used may sound strange to modern ears, Darwin's intermingling references to ape, anthropomorphous apes, i.e. the apes that appear more human-like, baboon, gorilla, Negroes, Australian Aborigines, and Caucasians suggested an evolutionary hierarchy, a conclusion that Huxley and many of his contemporaries also came to, which grossly stated was that black people, or Negroes, were less evolved than white people, or Caucasians, and could be seen as lesser persons. And all of this harkens back to the descriptive terminology used in the promotional material commonly used to describe the sideshow freaks that we've previously discussed. Baboon, orangutan, ape man, found swinging from the trees in Africa, man monkey, missing link.
People racist and past. We get it.
I mean, I don't understand what any of this has to do with evolution.
It doesn't. It's just trying to poison the well.
Mhm. The creator of evolution, well, air quotes, the creator of evolution was racist. Therefore, evolution is racist. And here are our quotes that say he was racist because racist.
Yeah, I mean, but in fairness, these are the same people who think that because the founding fathers were Christian, and the U.S. is a Christian nation,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
therefore we should take away all your rights.
Well, no, they have a God-given right to take away our rights, and if we infringe upon their God-given rights, then, ooh.
Yeah. I mean, because God is so powerful, he can move mountains, but can't tell people not to fornicate. Oh, God.
Brute creation, marvelous hybrid, semi-human being.
Oh no, Olivia, don't talk about that. Don't bring that up. Don't, no.
I mentioned that, and I was like, since we're taking shit out of schools, I'm just saying.
Yeah, was it somewhere in Utah where like someone got the Bible taken out of the school because of the restrictions Christians put into it?
So, oh God, I forget which state it is, but yeah, one of the red states. Someone petitioned for the Bible to be taken off of school shelves because of the incest and the murder, and I mean, we all know what's in there. And they were like, it's just not fit for children. So I didn't follow up with it. I don't know what actually ended up happening, but it would be really fucking awesome if somebody was just like,
Yeah. Regardless of what eventually happens, it's hilarious that worked.
Right.
And now I'm probably going
Gorilla-like.
to have a wine bottle thrown at my head.
What was that?
And now I'm probably going to have a wine bottle thrown at my head when Maya notices a comment in private chat.
I did notice the comment in private chat. I wasn't going to. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Doc, hey, congrats on 300.
Oh yeah, thanks.
When's the...
Oh boy.
When's the 300 sub stream?
Oh. I mean, I was going to do just like a hangout after this, but since that after show is going on, I'll probably go join that. Whenever that starts. I don't know when it starts. Because
yeah, my next stream is going to be a 420 stream. So everybody find a friend. Click that button.
Lucky for being in a state that lets that
subscribe, share, all of you. Both channels.
Thank you. And I agree.
Wait a minute. What the fuck is going on over here? Hey, Doc Dino's chat. What's up with 11 of you and 7 thumbs up? My chat is fucking killing it. I have 22 thumbs up and only 15 watchers. Like they figured out a way to double tap the like button. You guys need to find your god powers and get that like button up. Or at least 4 of you need to stop slacking off. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you.
And look, if there's any slackers in my chat, snap. All right, yeah, maybe the wine's getting to me.
Yeah, I think
I
the
love
wine's getting to you.
All right, Abby, look, we're talking about racism, and it's kind of like a sore point. Let's cuss out answers in TV, or what is this?
Answers in Genesis Canada.
Bigots in reality. Like, Nazis undercover. What are they calling themselves now?
I mean, you want a list or?
A black person and an ape-like human, throwback to the ape-like stage of humanity. Sideshow ads featuring ape men with other animalistic descriptions of humans served as subtle evolutionary sermons, grooming the general public towards a more evolutionary worldview. However, after Darwin's work was published, the subtlety largely disappeared. Indeed, American literary critic Leslie Aaron Fielder concluded, such racist mythology did not play a determining role in the perception of non-Europeans by Europeans until the triumph of the theory of organic evolution in Darwin's Ascent of the Species, 1859, and its extension by analogy into early developmental anthropology. Although lacking any true observational confirmation for it, the story of supposed human evolution was quickly promoted and codified as proven science among mainstream scientific circles.
So, yeah, no evidence for human evolution. Just ignore all of it. I mean, of course
No
they
evidence.
do, but...
Oh, yeah. We got to do that because reasons. You know what really pisses me off is there is absolutely no reason you can't believe in evolution and the Bible.
Yeah,
none.
Like most Christians.
I don't understand why they need to do this. I mean, I'm sorry. Grifting for cash.
No, you're fine. Just like, I mean, if you want my answer, is sort of a bit conspiratorial, but like,
no, I love conspiracy theories.
Well,
like that, it actually brought me into the skeptic community.
If they can make their flock distrust science, they can do it with other things like social issues. And they can continue to use the science as a reinforcement mechanism. Like, don't listen to the experts. Listen to us. We know what's best for you. Here, watch this. It'll confirm your faith. And we're helping you. We're showing you the light. So help us out a little in return. A little give and take. Good for you. Good for me. And that cycle just keeps repeating until all your money is in the church's coffers and you die of preventable disease.
Or evolution. Climate change. Side effects. Yeah. But no, that's not a conspiracy theory. That actually happened way before you were born. It's actually what politicians currently do.
Yeah.
Churches though, like again, why it started, I don't know. Like a guy had a great idea and then a bunch of people were just like, oh yeah, we'll believe this. And it just caught on like wildfire.
I mean, someone cracked the code of how to make a cult. And the only difference between a cult and an insular religion is the number of subscribers you have.
And the other reason why they do what they do, it's the same reason when the people in the parapet used to read books in Latin and Greek, because it wasn't the language that other people used. It was a matter of filtering the message and control.
Yeah, it's always about control. or power. Lest we forget power.
Power comes from control. That's the whole.
No, well, okay, yeah. To keep power, you do have to gain control, but I,
I think it's like a positive feedback loop. The more power you, the more control, the
yeah,
more control,
yeah,
the more power.
yeah, yeah. I'll give you that. I mean, because like they want power. I don't know that it's necessary. Well, okay, yeah, dictators is about control, but like I think for the majority, at least I can only speak about American politics because I'm an American, and that's all we're allowed to care about. But like, yeah, I think they definitely like the power, and you have to maintain control to keep to hang on to the power. So like, I definitely see that I see that a lot. And like, I don't know, things are going on outside of America, and you know, sometimes I look over
that's
and I'm
just a
just like, man,
fabrication of
sucks
the
to be you
liberal
guys.
media.
And sometimes I just want your health care.
Yes, please help. Just a general plea, please help.
Right.
When you come down to it, the aspect of why they tried to fight against the internet in the 80s and 90s is because it's stopped a huge degree of control. That's why the American political system did not want the internet in the first place. If look how much it's changed the way we do things.
Yeah, people are allowed to learn things that you couldn't block them from before.
I think that people, the 1%, really underestimates how stupid the 99% are. And because they thought that the same thing about the Bible, like we can't translate it into a language they can read. What if they realize that it contradicts itself? And then the majority of the fuckers just don't read it. It's like, hey, if we have the internet, then people can get true information to each other, like more quickly than not. And then we just make shit up and believe that over like actual facts.
Yeah.
Oh my God, we're dumb.
For the record, I do want to say to everyone out there, this channel and this series is not to bash just Christians in general or the religious in general. I have no problems with 99.9% of the religious people out there.
I have no problem with religious people too. I'm not an atheist. However, look, I will call a stupid motherfucker in a heartbeat.
Fair.
It has nothing to do with them being Christian. I think all religious people and non are stupid motherfuckers. Like, if you're gonna believe something, know what you believe and why. That's all I'm saying.
Fair. I don't know where I heard it from. I thought you were an atheist.
I was no. And it's funny because Christians like to claim me too. And it's funny. I do not identify with any of you bastards.
Fair enough. You don't have to say what you are if you don't want to, but that does make me curious.
Well, not. There's actually, a lot of people have asked me to do interviews, and I'm like, no, fuck you. I don't do interviews.
You shall suffer not knowing forever.
No, you don't get to know. It's none of your business. Fuck off.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hey, I'm
love you.
I'm unashamedly a Celt. I'm unashamedly a Celt.
Yeah. And you were at least the original co-host of this series.
But I've been sort of dealing with medical issues again.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Let's talk about people with strange beliefs, and look who pops into the chat.
Oh no, who we got? Oh, interesting.
Look, you have a link, bastard.
He does.
Oh, and
To be
Maya's
fair, he
drunk.
could be driving home or something.
No, fuck that shit. Drink. Well, I'm drinking and streaming. He can like stream and drive. Same death.
I'm sure those are comparable.
in the West, as an examination of popular literature published consecutively beyond this point in time confirms, and a small sampling follows. As early as 1907, Scientific American described pygmies this way: the personal appearance, characteristics, and traits of the Congo pygmies conclude they are small, ape-like, elfish creatures. Published just 7 years later in 1914, the popular U.S. textbook Civic Biology presented an overtly racist depiction of mankind in a supposed...
You know, this is the last time I'm going to acknowledge it. People in past racist. Bad. Like, this is such a crap argument.
Past racist, current racist, future racist. Like, you're all bad.
Yeah, agreed.
The horse is long dead. You're not
Yeah.
going to get
So,
anything out of
and
it.
that's fine. And yeah, no, I fully denounce the racism. But the facts, though, what are the facts?
I don't think we're going to get any facts out of this video. It's just look at racism. Look at racism. Look at racism.
Oh, there's gonna be some interesting
People used to be
things in a few
racist.
minutes, actually.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Where
evolutionary
is the
hierarchy.
vodka?
It identified 5 races of man: Ethiopian, Malay, American Indian, Mongolian, and finally, the highest type of all, the Caucasians, represented by the civilized white inhabitants of Europe and America. And in 1924, the New York Tribune featured Australian Aborigines as missing links in a top story where headlines declared, "Kindred of Stone Age men discovered on Antarctic Island, missing links with mankind in early dawn of history." Such examples are too numerous to mention and can be traced throughout the rest of the 20th.
Really quick, though. I'm really wondering, like, if he's going through all of this, like, is he really denouncing it? Or is he just like, why wasn't this another book in the Bible?
Oh, sorry, just a second. Apparently, Tapioca lost the link.
How do you lose a link? It's in the goddamn Discord. Whatever. You know what?
Well, I
already did. I already did my stupid people rant.
I sent it to you on Discord personally.
Oh, it wasn't
Tapioca's in a group
it wasn't in
with
the
me and
group.
Beamsy
Okay.
that I sent it to.
That's where I got it from.
Yep.
Did
There you go.
You put it in. You put it in the group chat with Tap and Beamsy, and
and a
Beamsy
few
got
others,
it.
yeah.
Beamsy got it, but Tap did not.
Oh dear.
He lost the link in the group chat. I mean, I'm just trying to.
I sent it to him privately now.
I'm just trying to help.
Oh, there we go.
Is it a wild tapioca weasel?
Hello.
Hey, look, you should hear it from me.
Oh dear.
I've been talking mad shit about you for like a good however long we've been streaming, 87 minutes now. And you know, I'm a bitch who owns her shit. You got something to say to me, Tapioca Weasel?
Tap, you approximately got out half a syllable and then your computer cut out.
It's the God powers.
The computer wants to protect
Just
you.
shut
from
his
Maya.
computer down. You ain't got shit to say. Boom.
You got something to say, punk? Unplug his cord through the computer.
All right.
I think the computer just went, "Run, she's hungry."
Okay, is this better? Okay.
Yep, can hear you.
I don't because I was watching the voice meter thing, and you're right. It was only like picking up like 1/10 of every second that I was speaking.
Are you calling Beamsy a liar now?
No, I'm calling him the truth teller,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
even more strange and scary.
It is kind of scary.
True.
Though.
Yeah, now I'm scared. What's going
But
on?
yeah, no, I was trying to think of what to say to you, Maya, and I was gonna say that the ocean is fake, but wrong person.
No, the ocean is not fake. We've decided to drop Ken Ham into it.
True.
Beamsy will not let us regift.
I mean, we could also drop him over Antarctica.
I am all for that. Or
Mm.
into the sun. Whatever.
I prefer Antarctica, much more entertaining, unless we like send a camera with him to the sun, which is hard. It's also just not that easy to throw something into the sun. There's a lot of angular momentum you gotta kill. Yeah.
Yeah, Kerbal Space Program taught me that. I have yet to actually successfully send something into the sun in that game. There's just too much speed.
Yup.
I would love to have too much speed right now.
Oh no.
Or cocaine or vodka. Too much vodka. That would be a great problem.
I mean, I just snort my ADHD medication in a pinch, right?
Honestly, like weed's the hardest thing I would ever really want to do, but I can't even do that because of my job.
It's fine. Nobody's doing hard drugs. Relax.
Speak for yourself.
These are jokes.
Yeah, I'm like, don't.
True.
We haven't discussed this.
Listen, we got Beamsy here.
Hey,
I'm allowed
That's
to.
his
it's
secret
called
cap. He's always on
entertainment.
drugs.
I'm just saying, I had DMT
I need
literally
to,
fall
like,
into my lap once.
Wow, I'm so jealous. Look, listen to me. Look, I know you're a new streamer like me, but I've got to tell you something. I'm like twice your age, so I got to tell you something I picked up along the way. Jokes are not as funny when you have to explain them, or when you explain them for other people. Just let the funny ride out.
No,
you laugh.
I
You hit
understand.
the goddamn play button.
Yeah, I don't though. Can you explain it again, Maya?
20th century. Racist ideas such as these proliferated Nazi propaganda, undergirded Jim Crow laws throughout the U.S., and contributed to the forced segregation initiatives in Canada through the residential school program. And while some today would say such thinking has largely passed from modern society, examples of scientific racism still commonly persist. News reports describing light-skinned fans with hands bunched up under their armpits, screeching monkey noises at dark-skinned soccer players, for example, are still far too commonplace. We understand that such actions are racist, but what's the real message conveyed through using monkey sounds or throwing bananas towards someone with dark skin? The answer is literally illustrated in the popular and supposedly scientific ape-to-man diagram seen in textbooks, t-shirts, classrooms, and coffee cups. It almost always depicts dark-skinned hairy apes turning into Caucasians, supposedly over millions of years, which provides a simple...
Wait a minute. Hold up. Was it a dark-skinned hairy ape? Or was it fur?
I mean, yeah, but what is the average chimp or hair color of a chimp? Or skin color of a chimp? I actually don't know.
I wouldn't fucking know. I've never shaved a chimp.
I think it is actually a darker gray, brownish gray.
Look, no.
But I could be.
I swear I've seen pink chimps too.
Yeah, that might be the face. The face, I think, does have a pink tone to it.
All right, you guys are getting way too pedantic here. They didn't show a shaved chimp. What he said is they show a dark-skinned, hairy ape, and they do not.
Are you sure
I'm
you
going
want
to
to
get
know?
pedantic with this one.
Yeah, are you sure you want to know what
He's
a
trying to
ape
make like some kind of like weird aquatic ape theory, where like white people are like different than black people, and black people are the hairy apes, and we, the white people, are made in the likeness of God. And again, fuck this guy. But listen to me. I know what he's doing. Don't let him get away with it.
Doc, you got to keep playing. I got to let him get away with it to piss off Maya.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Visual concept, once again illustrating that the less melanin you have in your skin, the more advanced you are, i.e., darker people are closer to the apes and less evolved. Therefore, white people are superior to blacks. which is the exact same racist monkey man messaging portrayed by the crude carnival workers of
He is
yesteryear. Again, remember the
proselytizing.
Yeah, it's a really fun.
Oh,
Really
like, there's a reason. Like, he's not denouncing any of this shit. Like,
Yeah.
he wants you to think he is. Am I the only one that hears this?
No, if you also look in the chat, I've also put a bald chimpanzee in there for you.
Yeah, I saw it. I
There's two
just
chats going on. I don't see any chimpanzees.
the scary thing is, like, without the fur, I'm not sure I can show it on stream or if it'll like say it's
I think you'll be fine.
You
Don't
think
be
so?
like Al Trucker.
Yeah, I think
Nobody
you'll be
wants
fine.
to see
Matt.
hairy balls.
No, this is not. That's
Oh.
not that. It's not that. It's.
Oh, for fuck's
You can
sake!
show that.
Okay. Why
I
are we
mean,
doing this?
it's not. That is not an unsightly image. It's fine.
I feel called out. Look,
What? How?
we're just trying to show that like chimps are black. Is that where we're going with this? And I don't understand the point of this.
No, because
No, they're not
I
black.
was curious.
we,
what the
well, we were
skin color
literally
of
curious
this
about the skin color of chimps because
Of
it's
the
not because
hairless chimp.
it's not like
Yeah.
gorillas. Gorillas are quite dark.
Gorillas are quite dark. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you've got to remember, he's tanned because he lives outside. So his skin tone is actually lighter than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see he has scars that are lighter. That's interesting.
Also, this.
Oh, it could be a bonobo. They're hard to tell apart.
The thing on screen, I don't think it's a bonobo.
Yeah,
Well, I
look
mean,
at
the
him.
thing
He's like
that was
covering his
previously
junk.
on screen.
Yeah. This is clearly either fictional
He's
or
covering
a
his
fairy
junk. Like,
child.
somebody get the man some pants.
Gorilla Girl and Man Monkey references among the circus freaks that we discussed, the entire concept of human evolution undergirds racist ideas. And Darwin, the father of modern evolution, clearly expressed those ideas from the beginning. Scientific racism is still promoted throughout all major educational institutions via the teaching of evolution, even in its modified forms, though much
I
more
think
under the
Sydney
radar today for the most
Raptor
part.
is right. It did
Likely.
look like a chimpanzee.
What was that?
I think Sydney Raptor was right. It did look like a chimpanzee.
I have no idea.
Oh, wait a minute. Was it in private chat? Oh, Beamsy's putting shit
No,
in
that
private
is a
chat.
chimpanzee. What I put there.
Okay. Shave chimp. All right. We are all educated.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Speak for yourself. Oh wait, right. I'm doing my my side hustle as a fake doctor. I mean, real doctor. I swear, real. Sorry.
Yeah, that was a chimp
Yeah,
that was
totally not
actually
an Illuminati show.
Yeah, that was that chimp is in a zoo in. Will you get out of it? Mine. Sorry.
Oh, kitty.
Beamsy's talking to the chimp.
No, my cat.
Oh no, Mew Mew's on the attack.
No attention.
Mew
To be
Mew?
fair,
Is
who
that your
doesn't?
cat's name?
No, the full name is Comrade Princess Mew Mew. I do in stage of Roman of Esquire Mew Mew, the first of the perfect of Mew Mew.
I did ask.
Yeah, you did.
I think you just burned Maya's drunk brain.
I can't even be mad at him.
You asked for it.
I did. I asked Beamsy a question, and everything that followed is all my fault.
Oh boy.
Because of the fear of treading on the eggshells of the more politically correct segments in modern society. However, much to my home country of Canada's shame, as recently as 1997, Professor Philip Rushton from Western University produced a work called Race, Evolution, and Behavior that openly rehashed these views. In Barry Mailer's, a professor at Ferris State University, review of Rushton's work, he reports, blacks, according to Rushton, have smaller brains, making them less intelligent than whites and Asians. Using 60 different measures, Rushton ranks the races along an evolutionary scale with blacks at the bottom and Asians at the top. The fact is, these ideas have been embedded into the consciousness of Western society over not just several decades, but over hundreds of years now. And indeed, ideas have consequences. And these evolution-based ideas resulted in some of the most horrific consequences
Can we?
ever.
Can we? I need to stop over time. I just want to remind the chat that he is proselytizing, and it's a little fucking annoying.
Evolution bad, rar.
But and I couldn't call out annoying racist shit, and annoying sexist shit. I haven't heard any annoying sexist shit, but I do want to call this out for being anything racist is also sexist, and also let's say transphobic, but what's gayphobic?
Homophobic.
Homophobic. Yes.
You are drunk,
Yes.
Maya.
So shut the fuck up. So one more time, fuck this guy, and I want to I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up for another second until I get pissed off enough, and then I'm gonna say stop the tape, and I'm gonna remind everybody that he is proselytizing. Telling you this because you probably don't see it. You probably don't see it. He is not denouncing this. He is not denouncing this. He's just fucking reading shit. And it's oh, everybody knows this is racist. Wink, wink.
I'm not sure I'm seeing the wink, wink, but
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
I'm bad at spotting it.
Here you go. God, Nitty! Oh my God, Nids! Nitty. It's the titty mobster. I love Nitty.
Sorry, the what?
Nitty is the titty mobster.
Okay, I did hear you right.
Wait, am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I don't.
Look,
I don't know.
come on, Nitty. Tell him how much you love titties. Oh, I'm sorry. Nitty just got into the chat. Nitty, I'm a little drunk, but I'm
Nitty
not.
Nitty loves
right.
titties.
I am drunk and right. Nitty loves
There,
titties.
he said it right there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay, I don't know why.
Look, Nitty knows. Nitty. Look, wait.
Oh, wait.
Nitty. Evangelicals are fucking like monsters. They're racist monsters, and homophobic, transphobic, sexist monsters. But today we're talking race, which is my ish. So today they're racist monsters.
Oh
What
boy.
are we doing here?
So
I love Nitty. Everybody sub to Nitty.
So that
Nitty's
was
not
that
making
video.
content. Okay, cool. Nitty's not making content, but sub to him because I'm trying to get Nitty back in the game. Because Nitty's
So
too good to not be in the game.
The other one is optional.
Oh God damn it!
It is Genesis
it?
Apologetics telling us where the races of man come from.
Where the what?
Have they found the Garden of Eden?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
They're giving their explanation for where races come from.
This can only be horrifying.
That sounds like a go. All right.
What do most people think of when it comes to race, skin color, hair type or color, physical features? Just why do we have these differences? Well, if you look outside of biblical explanations, you'll find that we've explained race in a variety of ways over the years, ranging from views that had neutral effects in society to views that led to horrific outcomes. Let's take a few minutes to compare secular and biblical views on the topic of race. Let's start with the secular view. Over the last few centuries, the world has come up with several different ideas about race. Because these views are at the heart of how we regard and treat people, these viewpoints have had major consequences.
I wouldn't say they're at the heart.
What do you mean?
Wait, how did
I think to the extent that it is mapped on. I didn't let you answer the question. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was distracted. Maybe I misunderstood him. Did he say that race is at the core of how we understand people or something like that?
I didn't hear his exact language. I was sort of more hearing like that it's at the core of, I don't know, human interactions. And it sort of depends on what you mean by that. a lot of things are at the core of human interactions and in-group, out-group dynamics, which is how the problem has so glaringly manifested itself. Yeah, that's a thing that we do a lot.
Whose video is this?
Genesis Apologetics.
Oh,
Consequences. But
Stu,
first,
you're right. They do have punchable faces.
a disclaimer. Many people have done amazing things to dismantle racism at many levels. It should also be said that today, most non-Christian Americans don't hold blatantly racist views. We also acknowledge that, historically, many self-professed Christians have done horrendous things in the name of race, even claiming their views were supported by Scripture. One point we'll make in this video.
Right. Okay. I got my videos mixed up. This one acknowledges that that racist Christian groups have existed. The other one didn't.
You should bring on the other one then, because I think we're more in the.
Oh, that was the last one.
Okay.
The last one that created the raging mire.
Well,
Yeah.
you know.
What's going on?
Huh?
What's wrong? Oh, no. Okay, so I was a little pissed off that he was talking about people who have used racism for bad. I forget what he said because you guys were talking and interrupted my thoughts. Rude. But while he was saying that, he was showing a black man, which was racist. And fight me.
So what he was saying there was that there have been Christian groups who have used the Bible to excuse racism. And it was like a church that had a sign saying
was the church behind the black guy?
The church was behind the black guy. It had a racist sign. Here.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go. Why is the black guy there? It should be a white guy in a hood because that's who put the
I think he's making like a what the fuck face.
I certainly am right now. I mean, you'd be able to see it. But apparently I
Video
can't,
is that sound
have both my cam and my microphone on.
Oh.
However, I just want to call out like bigots and I hate the juxtaposition where it's just like, people call out my bigotry or bigots.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
people do
I know
that.
what you mean. It's the you have to be tolerant of my intolerance.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like I just want to drop kick them into a river.
I have to be intolerant for Jesus. I'm sorry, you can hit the
interpretation of Scripture leaves absolutely no room for racism, whereas evolution theory leaves plenty. Let's look at some history that supports this perspective, beginning with the framer of mainstream evolution theory, Charles Darwin. Darwin promoted some strong ideas about race that influenced a number of world leaders over the last 150 years. Darwin's first mainstream book was published in 1850.
So I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Karl Marx said anything about evolution.
It's some strong ideas about race.
I'm pretty sure.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I have to cater to my chat because that's what you do when you're a streamer. So Jester is spamming caps, and normally that pisses me off, but he does have a very salient point which resonates with me as a black person.
Oh,
he
yeah.
says, wait, we're missing very important two words. Yeah. He said, in the past.
Yeah.
And everybody in Doc's chat, feel free to come over to my chat, hit the like button so that you can see Jester's fine words over here. No offense, Doc. I'm drunk. I'm just going to say that. Anyways, but I mean, real talk, you guys can all come over to my chat. I'm not gonna be mad at you.
Okay.
Hey, for the record, I just want to say it's totally possible to be in two chats at the same time, right, Titan?
Two tabs.
Titan,
exist.
hello. I'm sorry. Hey, I never say this sober. Titan, your anus I said it. Haha. All right. Yeah, so Jester says, Maya! He doesn't acknowledge that it's still happening. And apparently, I'm not doing a good enough job of saying that on my own, drunkenly. Fuck these guys.
Titanzanus.
There, I said it.
You know what? I wish I don't know what is monetization, Doc. I've heard of it. Have you?
Not yet.
It's this
I have
thing
not
that
yet.
you can get. I know. So, like, Ember apparently has the monetization, whatever that is, and people were like doing the monetization in his chat, and you were like speaking in funny voices, and I just wanted to let you know that it was very entertaining to me. Now, Aunt Jer
you.
is in one of the chats. I think she's in your chat, although I don't understand it, because Aunt Jer is supposed to be my bitch, and I don't appreciate the shit. Now, she said that it like damaged her eardrums or some dumb shit, and I thought it was highly entertaining, but only because I don't listen to this with headphones on unless I'm streaming. But when I'm streaming, it still does not bother my eardrums. So feel free to do the funny voices whenever you see a comment that deserves it. And if you don't see a comment that deserves it, I will make one.
I will if I see a good one. That was the thing I was mostly doing to try and help Ember get some money because car in the shop. And
yeah. Oh, it worked. Holy shit! If you didn't keep Ember in high heels, like I don't know what will.
High heels might.
Actually, that
Does
was
he have an
probably
Amazon
Beamsy.
wish list?
Beamsy, rich son of a bitch.
He does, or sorry, they
His
do
wish
have
list
their
is new car.
Yep. See, I messed it up.
They have their PayPal in the description of at least a few of their recent stuff. So if anyone wants to help Ember out, feel free to go ahead and do so. Tell them Maya, Doc, and etc. said hi.
Yeah. Did Ember go to bed? Damn it, Ember.
I think Ember said they were gonna listen to us as I fell asleep.
Yeah, he sort
Ember,
of
we're
just
fucking
because.
chilling you out. Wake up. Well, I don't know. I think I'm like calling Beamsy out for being so rich, but
you did send a lot of super chats, Beamsy. Like, jeez. This is where you reveal to us you're like the third biggest oil tycoon in Australia or some shit.
What's the super chat?
No, he took it out of the. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If I was, I'd do a lot more than just $100 for Ember.
Yeah, fair. Oh, my Australian
Everyone,
accent will try
Ember,
to do
give
a
him
British
money.
accent. I mean, the Australian accent's really just like it's just hick British, so you just got to do your British accent. Then you got to make it a bit more hickish, you know, like you're from a bit of the backwoods, and you got to emphasize it a little bit. It's not that hard.
That's Cockney.
Is it really Cockney? I think this is more like what Ken Ham does, isn't it?
Hey, can you explain Cockney? Can you explain Cockney to me? Because I've heard it said, but I don't know what that means.
Cockney's your stereotypical lower class British voice kind of
it's like
thing.
a southern.
You know?
It's a southern accent.
They got the bad teeth, and they say "isn't it a lot, governor?" Yeah, I can do it when I do that.
Bravo.
Cockney is almost a separate language. Some of the influence. Will you leave the microphone alone?
Your cat is hilarious.
I love your cat. I'm just saying.
Well, it's
pretty clear your cat loves you too.
If it was on camera, it would be better because that way you could see how much I'm being assaulted by this fur demon.
Oh yeah, Jay, my accent's
so cool. I didn't
pretty
know I could
great.
like
I'll
put
have
people
you
in.
know. I heard it from many good people.
Oh my God, is that Andrew? Where's Andrew? Oh, she's in my chat now. Look, I saw Andrew in your chat, and if you see her over in your chat again, you have to like give her mods because she's the best mod ever. And no offense to my mods, but like I'm gonna stand by that shit. You're gonna have to fight for it.
I thought you were gonna say I have to
fight
like
for it.
kick the cat into your stream or something.
I mean, Maya, I can
No,
only guess
Andrew, she's a great mod.
based on your initial modding choices.
You're a horrible mod. You don't do
I'm
shit.
the worst mod, and yeah,
You're the worst
and you
mod.
chose me, so you're the worst
look.
super mod.
I can't grow a channel without you. However, all the other mods do work, and like you just sit there and look pretty.
Well, thank you. It's a lot of effort not cutting my hair for 4 years in a row.
I have working mods. Like they're known in the community. I don't just like, hey, I know you. You should be modded, like fucking Neil or some shit. Look, I have mods. Like they're the best in the fucking community. They're all the best in the fucking community. And then there's you.
Yeah. I'm just
over here losing it.
Yeah, no, I figured out that I can pull a great grift, because I'm dripping with privilege and I've got mad beautiful stoner locks that I can whip around and like wipe up against a whiteboard with, tease my nipple a little bit. I don't know. And you let me do that, and it's really weird, but it's fine. I don't know what that has to do with modding, though. I don't know why you made that choice.
Weren't we listening to Nazis or some shit?
We're going to. Anyway, I was gonna say for Stalin here, didn't he ban? I could have sworn he and Hitler both banned the origin of species.
No idea.
I feel like that was a thing for Hitler. Like it didn't fit in with his like thing.
Yeah.
But
I could be wrong, but I think
I don't
that
know
happened.
a whole bunch about Stalin. I mean, I know he was like the devil incarnate or something, but like
I've heard he was kind of close.
Yeah, no, yeah, I definitely heard that.
The Nazis did ban the origin of species.
Not a good guy.
Yeah.
The Stalinists were Lamarckian.
Oh, okay. So they definitely didn't like it either. Oh boy.
Race that influenced a number of world leaders over the last 150
wants to know if you're judging modding ability based on hair quality.
Huh?
Doc.
Modding ability? No. Ability to arouse people with a whiteboard? Possibly.
Good night, everybody.
She wants to go for best hair quality.
50 years.
Also,
Darwin's
it's very
first
clear that Maya
mainstream
has
book-
nicer hair than I do. Maya's hair is beautiful and luxuriant, and mine is just like back there and longer than people expect.
Look, I don't think you understand. Look, I have better everything than you do. All right, I'm even older than you do. I'm the answer to everything. Plus one. Fuck
I
yourself.
have a better trench coat than you do.
I'm sorry.
Do you know that?
These are facts.
Yeah, trust me. Millions of dollars of technology go into this thing, and we're talking about weasel dollars. Okay, our entire economy is on a whole different level. You have no idea.
Oh boy.
Book was published in 1859 with the full title On the Origin of Species by Means of Natural Selection, or the Preservation of Favored Races in the Struggle for Life. Darwin's second book, The Descent of Man, included a chapter titled The Races of Man, where Darwin stated, at some future period, not very distant as measured by centuries, the civilized races of man will almost certainly exterminate and replace the savage races throughout the world. The break between man and his nearest allies will then be wider, for it will intervene between man in a more civilized state, as we may hope. Even then, the Caucasian, and some ape as low as the baboon, instead of as now between the Negro or Australian and the gorilla. Darwin's belief.
So, little tip, shorten your quotes.
Look, listen to me. They're fucking proselytizing. They're proselytize for 13 minutes and 20 fucking seconds. The only time they're going to take a breath is to fucking advertise. Shit.
I don't know. The 3 minutes of Nazi propaganda
belief was
might
obvious.
not be
If man
proselytizing.
evolved, then so did the various races, and the Caucasian race was farther along in the evolutionary process, thus making them superior to other races. It's beliefs like these that spread into society and led to fiascos like Oda Benga being displayed in the Bronx Zoo with an orangutan to demonstrate a step in the process of human evolution. Over 40,000 people a day visited the exhibition for 20 days until sensible people, mostly Christian pastors, brought it to an end. As Darwinism grew more mainstream, the stakes grew higher and higher.
No,
Professor Richard
that's
Weikart
not
has
what
published.
happened.
Oh,
happened?
what? How?
He was actually in the exhibit for 2 years, and he was doing it to actually overcome his debt. He was released under his own volition, not by any pastoral aspect, and he was never looked at as a missing link. He was just looked at as a presentation of Savage, was how he was shown.
Well, not
Also-
missing link, but no, let him go. Sorry, I was going to get pedantic.
Go ahead. It's just a matter of nothing he said was true.
Yeah, exactly.
Except-
and let's just settle on that, which is fine.
Okay. Sorry, I got to represent my alma mater here. The guy they're about to quote graduated from University of Iowa. He's a freaking
Iowa.
off guy. How
Condolences.
That's how you know everything he's about to say is BS.
Dozens of works on the Darwin-Nazi connection. Weikart states, Hitler, like many German biologists and anthropologists in the early 20th century, embraced Darwin's theory of human evolution. He believed that some human races are more highly evolved than other human races. These unequal races are locked in an unavoidable struggle for existence that manifests itself in an economic and social competition, as well as warfare and even racial extermination. He thought he was helping humans evolve to higher levels by favoring the superior races and eliminating the inferior ones. Hitler based his policy of expansionist warfare on the idea of a Darwinian biologist turned geographer, Friedrich Ratzel, who argued that the struggle for existence was essentially a struggle for living space to enable the superior race to expand in. The Nazi...
That is a quote.
That is a quote.
And I would have preferred to call that word salad because,
It's bullshit.
yeah,
I mean, all of the bad things that it says about Hitler are true. All of the bad things that it says about Hitler are true, but not for the motivations that they give. Other than he was motivated by hate because he was a hateful, psychotic, evil dude on
And
every level.
and he got kicked out of an art school because of another Jewish entry that actually beat him out.
And I mean, Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wasn't German, and he wasn't a biologist or an anthropologist.
Well, they didn't exactly say. Sorry.
Oh no, I mean you're probably going to say something more I don't know, salient than I would have. I'm just marveling at the inner earth hints throughout the sentences.
It's. I don't. Yeah. By the way, this might
They're
like prevent
Scandinavian
your channel
goddesses.
from getting monetized. So, yeah.
Huh?
This sort of content might just not.
What is
it-
monetization?
Right. Exactly.
I mean,
I mean, if they need me to take it down, for the review process, yes,
look,
whatever.
don't
But I
cover
mean,
this stuff
like,
every
let's
week.
all remember that there are Scandinavian goddesses with no melanin that exist within the inner earth. I'm sorry, I can't say that with a straight face.
What are
They're
you
stupid.
quoting?
What? Oh, Doc, he doesn't know about inner earth. We have to do a show.
Yeah,
What?
I was actually thinking that I might want to do more Hollow
my
Earth
God.
for my birthday. That I might even want to do that more than Hollow. Although
Wait, so are we streaming on your birthday? Because I can
No,
make
we're not.
all of the things.
we're not,
Okay,
but
okay,
like for my
you're
birthday
gonna go
stream
do
because my birthday's on
IRL
Thursday.
things on your birthday.
Well, my birthday's on like a
So,
what day is my
what's your
birthday?
point?
It's November 9th. It's a Thursday, so
Like the day before Thanksgiving? I don't know. Look, I can make all your dreams come true. We could do flat Earth.
well,
We could do Hollow Earth. We can do you can invite Roger on, and we can just like smack him around for a solid hour. Like we could do all of the things. I have nothing better to do on your birthday. He has no idea what inner Earth is. Like I didn't know people like this existed. I'm like, just like
but Maya, you were one of these people like 8 months ago.
what? No, I introduced the Inner Earth video
That-
to you. You had no idea what
I knew about it before. I knew about Hollow Earth before
Look,
that.
I
I
have
you
heard
Inner
I have heard
Earth.
about Hollow Earth, just not Scandinavian princesses or whatever.
Yes. What did you think?
I didn't know Princess
Why do
Peach
you
lived on
think
the
that
inside of the
Hitler
Hollow
thought
Earth.
that blonde hair and blue eyes were superior?
And then there's me, who prefers short brunettes, but whatever. Okay.
No, black girls are far superior to the rest of you bitches. Look, but that's not the point. Hitler, though, right?
Hitler's the point?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're quoting him, apparently. Well, I mean,
Wow.
I would not. But,
Yeah, but
these are
Maya,
Hitler
I just want to say that whole thing you just did is going to be so great to take out of context one day.
Look,
Everything.
black women are the goddesses. And you take that however the fuck you need it to.
Doc, I have done things where I'm like, this is going to be a clip that Titan and Maya are going to share with people in less than 30 seconds after I'm done. And then I'll do something
so
like
much,
work
Sydney.
with my whiteboard,
I mean-
you know?
I mean, Beamsy, you're good at clipping. You want to clip that?
Oh, Beamsy. God damn it.
Beamsy, were you supposed to make an intro for us?
Beamsy.
I'm
Yeah. You're supposed to do like 15 weasels dancing simultaneously as an intro for us.
The weasel dance section.
Why are you slacking off?
It's only 12, but I've just got to time it to the song correctly. It's just a lot harder than I thought it was.
Oh, I can give you more footage if you need it.
Look, you're talking too much. Stop it. Look, we need to shout out skeptics and scoundrels. Eric, I can say Eric. Nara's in the chat. Look, if we're ever going to be monetized, we've got to drunkenly shout out our friends that enter the chat. Antichrist Superstar, I heard you did some naughty shit. You got to stop that.
Okay.
You're pissing off Titan, and Titan always lets me know when he's pissed off. And I'm the Queen Goddess, and we just can't have that. Mark Reed, holy shit! Mark needs a link. Mark, we're talking about
Mark has a
racism.
link.
Mark, we're talking about racism.
But okay, Maya.
If you're gonna be a non-American and do the
Which word?
look, if you're gonna be a non-American and do the racism, you gotta not do cringy shit. All right, like those are the rules. Because like white people in non-American countries do the cringy shit on racism, and it pisses me off. And then I have to rage. Look, I'm not raging today. I'm drunk streaming. So Mark, I want you in here and not doing the cringy shit.
You want Maya?
So, Maya, I want you to try to say the word that's on screen right now.
Do it.
That is Maya Atkinson Alophosaurus.
Honestly, you know what? 10 out of 10. Handled infinitely better than I would have been able to.
Yeah.
And I can't make it to the fourth syllable either, so it's not like I can call her out.
Sorry, I had to hear how you tried to say it.
Maya Atkinsonosaurus. Like it. What? Is there any other way to pronounce it?
Can you not read?
Not anymore.
What?
Not anymore.
But I don't like all this like negativity coming out of the
It's not
measles.
negative. It's great.
It is great. No, you know what? It's fucking awesome because that's all I bring. Look, Micropachycephalosaurus.
Yeah, bravo.
Fuck yeah.
Man, I wish I could sit here and say I could have done that. There's no way I would have been able to say that word.
Wait, no, that's the wrong. There's the right tab.
And I did it drunk.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm giving you this point, Maya. I'm giving it.
Nobody, like, I'm the fucking queen goddess, bitches. I'm claiming my
Yeah,
title.
you are.
All right, yeah, I am.
Ah, boy.
All right, and queen goddess is need more wine and maybe a bathroom break. So don't say anything cringy. And Mark Reed, get your ass in here.
We're gonna play the tape.
And I'm not.
Yep, we're
and
playing
Party
the
started
tape.
laying the
Just
foundation for the
FYI.
actions of Hitler's future army by showing films like this one in every theater in Germany.
Alles Lebensschwache geht in der Natur
Yeah,
unfehlbar zugrunde.
and then we get 3 minutes of Nazi propaganda. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
like,
skip it.
yeah, that'd be.
Wertvolles Volk kommen, das man mit Riesenschritten seinem Ende entgegenginge.
This clearly shows how Darwin's ideas were used to persuade an army to do incredibly barbaric things to certain people groups. The effects of Darwinism weren't limited to just Europe in the Second World War. Charles Darwin visited Australia in 1836 and noted that the Aboriginal population was in decline. He believed that as the stronger British thrived, it was likely that Aboriginal peoples in Australia would soon be completely wiped out. These ideas later led to the forced assimilation of over 100,000 plus Aboriginal children who were abducted.
It wasn't because of Darwin's ideas. It was already happening.
It was because people are hateful and greedy.
Yeah.
And I was going to continue, but I mean, honestly, do I need to?
No, that's a pretty good summary.
From their families between 1910 and 1970. Next, let's look at the biblical view on race. While the Bible's take on race has remained constant since it was written, many have run astray with false interpretations, and some of these were driven by impure motives. But a plain reading through Scripture reveals there were two humans created at the beginning in the image of God and not in the image of apes. Indeed, Adam was not one of the animals. Rather, God had him name the animals and then take dominion over them. Adam and Eve's DNA was perfect. Their genome included all the necessary programming for the variability that we see today in various people groups. Some of the differences we observe with people today.
How does this work? This is not how genetics works. You can't just fit all of that crazy information into a thing.
It's how creationist genetics works. They're stealing this from AIG.
Are you sure? Are you sure
I'm pretty sure
Genesis
Apologetics is bargain bin AIG.
Compounding after the fall.
Yeah.
God, it keeps playing.
No, story of my life. I do this constantly in the Sunday streams, as you certainly noticed yesterday. But it's one of those things where as long as you pause it in time, you get away with it.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie, though. This graphic on screen makes me want to get a laser beam that turns people into Dippin' Dots and then eat their genomes in ice cream form.
That's certainly a mad scientist thing to want to do.
Right? I love my job.
I hate the term mad scientist. It's not the mad scientist you got to be careful of. It's the crazy engineer.
Yeah, yeah.
Joke's on you. Tapioca's both.
Well, I'm an experimental physicist. I have none of those expertises, and mine is much more esoteric. I know a lot more about very specific topics, but no, I'm not an engineer. I don't know how to properly read an engineering diagram. I don't, because I don't need to. Never came up.
Sounds like what a crazy engineer would say. We're just making fun of Tapioca.
Oh, I can do that.
I don't believe you, Maya.
The genealogies in Genesis provide a clear map to Adam about 6,000 years ago. Interestingly, secular research on mitochondrial DNA mutation rates actually confirms this biblical timeline, demonstrating that we all come from a single woman who lived.
No.
Wow, they're selectively quoting. Is that from that paper?
I don't know.
Or is that from because that looks like a Jeanson quote, but I think it might be a super BS out of context quote from that paper. It's possible.
I mean, it's super BS out of context wherever it's from. But
they're probably and this is why, and this is a demonstration of how this particular thing isn't applicable in that particular context. Okay.
Lived only 6,000 years ago. This mutation rate is even used by the FBI in forensic investigations. Then, just 10 generations after Adam and Eve, the entire human genome was bottlenecked to just 8 people who survived a year-long flood. This genetic bottleneck is at least partially responsible for the shortened lifespans of those who lived after the flood.
It's not to 8 people. 3 of them were children of the other 2. That's at least 3 of them, because for all we know, Noah's sons might have married their sisters.
Yeah, but like maybe Noah had like super exabyte quality, high capacity DNA, and it got split up into smaller subunits for his children. And actually, you've got the genetic load of like 800,000 people.
His sperm were like chicken eggs with tails.
Well, I mean, if you made the human genome 800,000 times bigger, that I don't think that's actually a huge problem, right? Maybe 800,000 is. That starts to get pretty big, but 80,000, 8,000 certainly I don't think would be a problem.
All I know
Maybe
is
I'm wrong.
I am certain that is a category on certain websites.
The post-flood population increased quickly and was later dispersed as over 70 language groups spread around the globe after God confused their languages at Babel. Genesis 10:32 records, "These were the families of the sons of Noah, according to their generations, in their nations, and from these nations were divided on the earth after the flood." Recent scientific studies even confirm there was explosive human population growth and DNA variability that occurred about the same time period.
About 5,000 years ago, when humans invented agriculture. Well, roughly, I think it was a bit before then, but
No. God created agriculture, gave it to the humans in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah. And then we gave ourselves thorns because it's all our fault. Especially Eve's fault.
I think we're giving Doc an aneurysm again.
No, that was last night's stream. I'm just mildly
That was
dying.
great. Yeah.
That was
you were
hell.
dying inside.
Roger
I could
is
hear
hell. Hell is Roger.
Oh my God. I'm still reeling at something. Therefore, Jupiter gave birth to Venus.
Oh my God. I was like, wait, hold on. We have to revisit the beginning of the sentence.
Beamsy, if you
I
didn't see that,
actually
you
did
need
go
to.
back
It
and
might
listen to
actually
it
kill you.
like 5 times. And he rambles, and I know I ramble, but he rambles. And it's just like the beginning of the sentence. You can't make it make sense with the end of the sentence. I challenge you to try.
Yeah.
I want
He's
to
not
commit great acts of illegalness because of that man.
Acts of illegalness. Yeah, well,
I've got to
Think
change
it's
my
vague
channel
enough
name.
that I can't get- you know
that's
what? Yes.
honestly, we should start a podcast called Acts of Illegalness.
I fucking love it. That was the greatest
I am
idea
very
ever.
afraid now.
Why? Because of what you've heard about the Roger, or what?
No, it's more Scrousel.
Oh, dear.
BMC, did you not see that? It was like you got to go back and watch it. It's like the last 5 minutes. It's fine. It's all worth it. I swear to you. I mean, but don't do it sober. Like, it's
It's
my
not.
favorite.
We don't
That's
recommend
his
that.
secret, Maya. He's never sober.
Yeah.
I like the Hulk.
The New Testament also confirms God's plan to spread the nations over the earth, and he has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on all face of the earth, and has determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwellings. Are there differences between people groups today? Of course. The variety we see in people today, which exists both within and between people groups, is because of the pre-engineered adaptability that God established within the language of our DNA. Some of the differences we see are also due to mutations, or DNA copying mistakes, but the traits we typically use to categorize race groups are superficial, such as differences in skin, hair, and eye color. These traits account for less than 0.012% of human genetic differences, or 1 gene out of 12,000. Let's take a look at skin color. What would cause some people to have very dark skin, while other skin is lighter? Skin color depends on the level and type of pigment.
Well, actually, I'm going to...
called melanin, that special cells in the skin called melanocytes produce.
Okay. Fun thing here not many people know about. Melanin is not the only skin pigment that humans incorporate, or that humans use. Human
Lies.
skin tone...
Lies. The world is simple.
No. Human skin tone is determined by three major factors. First is melanin. That's like usually a brown pigment. Then you have beta carotene, which is sort of an orangey yellow pigment. And lastly is just blood flow, which is pink. Different levels of all three of
that
those
like the
generate
orangey thing?
most
Is
of the
that what
skin
Trump
tones we
does?
see. Huh?
Is the orangey thing what Trump does?
No, that's Cheeto dust.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that.
Melanin protects the skin by absorbing and scattering the ultraviolet radiation that otherwise would have been absorbed by the DNA, causing mutations. People with darker skin fare better in places with intense sunlight for most of the year, like around the equator. Having darker skin helps in these places by protecting against skin cancer, folate deficiency, a cause of spina bifida, tropical ulcers, and other skin diseases. Light-skinned people from the frozen north who visit lower latitude sunny locations have less melanin to block the sun's UVB rays. This is the main reason that whites in the US have 25 times the rate of melanoma skin cancer compared to blacks. People with lighter skin thrive better up north where there is less sunlight because their lighter pigment allows greater absorption of vitamin D from the sun. Vitamin D is needed for healthy bones, protection against rickets, and certain cancers. This skin shade climate interaction drove people groups to live in areas where they would thrive. Isn't it amazing how God's command for us to be fruitful and
Other way round?
Wow. He was doing so
He-
good. He was doing so good. And then he had to drop a goddamn God into
But
it.
everything he said there was correct. As far as I can tell.
I am as shocked as you.
I was like, what?
I was just like, whoa. That was a nice string of facts. And then it was just like, they're for God. Wait, what?
Okay, so actually interesting anthropology thing here. Where do you so I will say this is a reconstruction of a prehistoric human. Where do you think he was found? Like if you could just name a country.
Indonesia.
Africa.
Okay, Africa, Indonesia. Beamsy, do you have a guess?
Sorry, killing demons.
Like in Doom or your cat?
Hell.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't like. You're going to have to be more specific.
So
Demons reside in hell. So the person was obviously found in America.
So he's known as Cheddar Man, and he was discovered in England.
Oh, we're all wrong.
He was either born or was an immediate descendant of people who lived, I believe, in the Middle East or around that region.
When?
And he had migrated to England within at least a generation or two.
I don't know how to pronounce. Is it Sicilian? But and tell me more.
When?
They all got it right.
When it happened?
So kudos.
Yeah, when how long ago?
When did he live? Let me double check.
Steph got it.
He lived around 10,000 years ago. And he actually does have descendants who are still alive in England. They found his closest living relative.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And from his DNA, we can tell he had brown skin and blue eyes.
I love the expression they put on him because it's a real expression that has character. Maybe it's not his character, I don't know, but
yeah,
it has real character to it.
No, he looks hopeful.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
He looks like he's kind of laughing to me, but also maybe grimacing. I don't know. There's so many ways to read that expression. It's like a Mona Lisa.
But yeah, it's really, really cool. And yeah. Here's a picture of him versus his closest living descendant.
They've got the nose.
Yeah, the nose is still kind of similar. And they both still have blue eyes.
I don't see it.
Well, I mean, it's 10,000 years ago.
Yeah. but still, it really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
No, it's super cool. I'm
That is
being
amazing.
facetious
Yeah.
because, yeah. That's cool. I mean, like, who gets to see their relative from like 10,000 years ago?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Apparently, white people.
White people, yeah. Because
Yeah.
as Black people, we can only trace ourselves back to slavery. And God damn it, where are my reparations, you bastard?
Oh dear.
Most of them
and later spread around the earth was made possible by the pre-engineered adaptability that he designed into our genetic code. When the Lord spoke to Samuel to choose the next leader for Israel, he said, "Do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, for the Lord does not see as man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." To wrap this up, let's hear some wise words from Pastor Ephraim Smith.
Human beings, you and I were created in the very image of God. The very image of God. Let that really sink into your heart today. We were not created like the animals. Animals are created after their kinds. So let's just think of animals on the ground. A giraffe and a hippopotamus. I was just recently at the Sacramento Zoo, and so I saw giraffes. And I saw that, again, I was reminded that animals are created after their own kind. You're never going to see a giraffe and a hippopotamus start dating to develop a covenant relationship and have a hippogriff. Like, that's never going to happen. There's no hippogriffs because God created animals to be in their own kind. But he didn't create human beings like that.
Yeah, our guy here just went full crocodile. Never go full crocodile. Right?
Yeah. Just god damn.
We weren't meant to be in the black kind, the white kind of.
I'm only going to say this because I'm drunk. I'm kind of mad that he's Black.
Oh dear.
No, I get what you're saying.
No. Yeah.
When I feel
we've gotten a bad enough rap without you, like, just going full idiot. Like, this is a Candace Owens moment, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. If you could just shut the fuck up.
There are people of every group who are great, and there are people of every group who are idiots.
Because
what do you know? We're all human.
But like, the fuck up.
I am not human. I am five weasels in a trench coat. Okay, I want to be clear on that.
Oh, hey, still a mammal. You're still a synapsid.
I know. You dinos and you weasels, you're superior beings to us mere mortals. And then there's whatever the fuck Beamsy is. Beamsy.
I'm monitoring.
What are you, like an alien
of course.
Or a ghost? Or I don't understand what I'm looking at. Beamsy.
I think he's it's a species of fish, right?
Beamsy.
Well, he said
yourself.
He was a monotreme.
Platypus, he said. He
said monotreme? What does that mean to me? A platypus? Yeah. That I understand. What's a monotreme?
He said
a platypus.
A platypus is a monotreme.
Well, monotremes are one of the only living examples of monotremes.
I want to kind of sing platypus inside of me, but wait, behind me? What is it? Platypus? Look, Doc, you're young. You know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right. Dino.
Right. Yeah. See?
Platypus. Sorry, I'm drunk.
It's not your fault. It's Doc's fault. I blame Doc.
There's a platypus controlling me. Yeah, but it's a Disney song, and I can't sing it.
Is it from Phineas and Ferb?
See, I knew he would know. You little whippersnapper. You're a preteen, aren't you? You can't fool me.
I hope not. If I am, my girlfriend has some explaining to do. She's 27.
Look, okay, all I'm saying is card your dates, kids. I actually do this.
For crying out loud.
The red kind, the yellow kind, the brown kind. God created one humanity, one blood, in the image of God, higher than the angels. But we live in a world that has a social man-made construct that says based on the color of your skin, your physical features, where you were born, your accent, whether your parents had money or not, whether you were small town, suburban, or inner city, we decide who's smart, who's dumb, who's fast, who's slow, who can clap on beat, who shouldn't bother to clap, who should be feared, and who should be revered. All of this based on those things.
Hey.
That's not the image of God. Yes?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yes?
Sydney Raptor says echidnas are also monotremes.
Yeah.
Aren't echidnas cool mammals? Are they mammals?
Yes.
These are
And they have
weird.
like 5
They've got
dicks or some
penises
shit.
like hands.
Yeah, it's insane.
They're the marsupial equivalent of a hedgehog.
But they have like 5 penises.
For crying out loud.
Look, this guy is just one giant penis.
Hashtag
wrong?
probably all men.
Have I said anything wrong?
I mean,
Someone
do
quote it.
penises have arms?
Did Jesus have arms?
No. Do penises have arms? Because I'm seeing arms, a shirt. I've seen penises with shirts. Okay, I haven't seen a penis with an arm.
Beamsy, don't change your profile picture to one. Don't.
How do you know what I
Challenge
was thinking
accepted.
of doing?
Because I know you.
Look, he's just trying to like be contrarian because it's all he does. I've said nothing wrong.
Issues of race and class, they're real. They're real. But the church, believers, beloved children of God, we are to rise up and model what it means to be a Christ-centered, multi-ethnic, transformative movement. You and I are not limited to the physical. We should be driven by the spiritual.
Are you a Christian student looking for answers about what the Bible teaches about
Holy
creation,
shit.
the fossil record, dinosaurs?
Wait, hold up. Is Butter Day debate over? Are you trying to get into like a side chat or an in stream? What do you call those? After streams?
After show, I was
Yeah.
gonna, but it's over.
Ha ha. You have to stay here in your own channel. I like skeptics and Eric's awesome. I can't talk right now. I'm drunk. Look, determining who is favored and who is not the image of God. Has this guy read the Old Testament? I think he's been spoon-fed the Old Testament. So he only hates like black people and Jews. And of course, the gays.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
that's
that's
what you do
pretty
when
on
you cherry
brand.
pick.
Yeah.
Oh well.
saying.
Well, that was the content I wanted to cover. Now that that's over, I think I'm gonna try to find more funny dinosaur names for Maya to say.
Fantastic.
Ha ha ha. You got me
Ooh,
for
that'd be fun.
25 minutes. Wait, what?
Oh, I already found one.
I know. Doc, did you eat? Because you get angry when you're hungry.
Here we go. Can you say this?
Oh, for fuck's sake. All right, Doc, you go first.
No, I'm not. Oh, him.
Adra Ticklet. Ha ha ha. That sounds funny. Adra Ticklet. I need to like.
Drodelic?
I'm gonna.
It might be a
I'm
Drodelic.
gonna rename everybody in the chat. I'm gonna put up an Excel spreadsheet, and I'm like, "Who's Adra Ticklet?" I see Jester. You're Jester. You're now Adra Ticklet.
So this next one sounds like it was written down after a drunk person said it.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Ashish Lepelta.
No, I'm not doing that.
Ashish Lepelta.
There you go.
Ashish Lepelta. I love it.
There's a lot of dinosaurs.
Physicists never come up with hard to pronounce things. The only time things are hard to pronounce in physics is when they're named after a person with a hard to pronounce name.
Yeah, I remember when like Theo went off for like half an hour on quarks.
Well, because he's wrong, and he's allowed to be wrong about this. Okay, quarks are awesome. I'm
they should be called Q-ons.
Wait a second.
Dude, like whatever, he can just deal with it, you know.
Ooh, wait! I just realized. Maya, have you ever heard of Chuck Tingle?
It sounds naughty.
You have no idea.
I mean, she probably has some idea if that's her first response.
So,
wait,
he's a writer.
He's a writer?
Yes.
like a
These are some of his books.
writer?
If you see any fun ones,
Yeah,
feel free to
yeah,
read them out.
okay.
Gay
Space
ass.
Raptor butt
Oh.
invasion. Sorry, I had to say it. Love it. I'm all about the Space Raptor butt invasion.
Holy shit.
2016.
This is like
Okay.
a Roger fest.
Like, okay, we might.
Does Roger know this guy?
Oh boy.
No, like seriously, like this is like a Roger. Like if Roger wrote romance novellas,
I-
like, this is like his ish.
Sorry.
But it'd be
He
like
likes his fun
lead fossil
titles.
balls. Absolutely no thoughts of pounding during my fun day with this kind T-Rex.
This is.
Wow.
Oh my
No.
God.
Look, you can't pound a T-Rex. You pound Spaceballs.
Not
Doesn't he,
with that
Roger?
attitude.
God. What the fuck?
I gotta.
Scary stories to tingle your butt. Seven
is this-
tales of gay terror.
Was this the guy who wrote "Pounded in the Butt by My Own Butt"?
Yes.
Just
And
wants to
also,
know how
Pounded
all
in the
that
Butt
got
by
said.
my book, Pounded in the Butt by my own butt.
By my own butt. But Jester wants to know how all that was said without a single damn it, Beamsy. Is Beamsy still in the stream?
Why does she know it was all my doing from all this?
Well, so you're not denying it.
Well, it wasn't me that actually brought it up the first time.
Well, Maya knows my flavor of weird, and it's orthogonal to this one.
Yeah.
So you
Hey,
enjoy
what-
being
can you,
glazed
like,
by the gay living donuts?
Hey, your Victoria said a thing, and I don't know how to pronounce it. I need you to highlight it, and
Who?
I need Dr. T to. You are Victoria, yeah. Dr. T. The weasels. I need you to pronounce it.
Brunstralong. I don't know. I don't know how you pronounce that.
Brunstralong.
I think it's
Brunstralong.
pronounced magnets.
Well, okay, do some basic syllable counting, Maya. Okay, just put in a little bit of effort. Come on.
All right, you've got to explain this to me. How do magnets prove a flat Earth?
Okay, so the way that magnets prove a flat Earth is that magnets provide the metaphysical substrate upon which the entire idea of a downwardly directed natural moment that is caused, for the record, by the fall of Adam. It caused the second law of thermodynamics to take into effect, which means that things always decay, and things decaying means they go down. And that is metaphysically the core thing at the result of what gravity actually is. So gravity is magnetism, but only on a metaphysical level. And then when you actually talk about how it's implemented as a physical theory of reality, it gets really complicated. And that's when we have to stop asking questions, because if God wanted us to understand physics, he would have made us into physicists. Fuck, wait.
Oh, hey, I remember the Avogadro's number.
How'd I do, Maya?
So, Beamsy, you remember when you asked me what it's like to talk to Dr. T about anything? Much like that. And I know a lot of you were just like, no, he explains things really well. I watch Bad Sides. He's not talking about the shit he does. This is the shit he does. Look. Don't judge me. I know I'm drunk, but I'm fucking right.
Oh, that was...
Hey, Beamsy, do you want to laugh at these people not knowing what a Rouge Moutonnet is?
I don't know.
I'll turn off Doom then.
Huh? What was that, Beamsy?
I'll just turn off Doom.
What the heck is the Darcy-Wybash equation? I don't know what that is.
Well, it's Darshu Weisbach.
You know what? Thank you
Hey.
for correcting my pronunciation, I
There you go.
suppose.
Dr. Dino,
Yeah.
Aunt Jura has made a very cogent point that should be highlighted.
Yep.
I'm sure that's not, at anyone in particular.
Hmm.
Okay, you know what?
Oh, but also something by AR.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just hold on.
Because AR is a fucking god. He knows what's up.
So wait, there.
That's a category error. Magnetism is amoral. Okay, so you're not going to bait me into another hot spiel of hot nonsense like the last one. I mean, wait, what? I mean, cogent, thoughtful articulation of actual expert opinions. Because trust me, I'm a real thick weasel doctor.
But yeah, Beamsy, do you know what a Rouge Moutonnet is?
What's a schmatty pantsy?
Not off the top of my head. Remember, I'm on my painkillers at
Schmatty
the moment.
pants. Oh, schmatty
okay.
pantses. We are schmatty pantses.
It's a glacial thing.
What's a golly wobbler? Golly wobbler.
Oh,
A golly wobbler. That sounds like a dick in your mouth.
You're not wrong. Small one.
Ooh, wait, let's look up fun German words.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Are we out of videos?
Yeah.
I have videos.
Oh,
Maya,
Oh.
I want you to stop and repeat terms of service. Can't show my porn. And then go for it.
Look, I'm not going to show my personal porn. Like, none of you have access. Like, none of you have subscribed to my OnlyFans. And so...
You don't know that.
Sorry, Maya. Maya, I need you to try to say this.
And
then I need Tap to try and say this.
That is suck my balls.
Tap, do you have any idea?
Yeah.
3 cheeses high. I can say words.
Dreikasok.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Chris Chan returned. Is that the truth? Where's Spackle? Spackle!
What is it? How do you say it? That's
Everything,
what I got. Dreikasok. Or something like that.
It says Chris Chan returned, and
I was not that far off.
Look, there's T afoot.
Dr. T? Where? I don't see him.
Golly wobbling is held on the throat and knees.
You know what I got to figure out how to do? I got to figure out how to get all 5 of the trenchcoat weasels, not only like on all in a YouTube side chat at the same time. That I can do. I need to figure out how to clone myself, the trench coat. Sorry, and operate it with one weasel in each one, so I can appear simultaneously on a.
I don't think so. Were any of those words?
It's going to be great. And then I can really start my weasel cult.
Weasel cult?
Yeah. I've been meaning to talk to you about this. I may or may not hint I do want to start a cult.
No, you've talked to me about this. I turned it down.
Well, yeah. I mean, you should reconsider.
You said that before.
Well...
And you keep bringing it up.
I've got
it. I've got it.
Weasel.
I don't know how long I'll be here for this because I have to sober up before I go back to work. But Dino,
yeah,
we're doing this.
Okay.
We're losing subs. Look, I don't have enough likes. I need more likes.
But can you say this word?
Oh, no.
No.
Don't want to try?
No.
Dino.
I can't say it, so no, I don't
need
want
you-
to say it.
I need you to jump onto Discord.
Oh no.
Yeah, and there's a link. I need you to load the link.
I'm terrified.
You should be. You should be very, very afraid.
Oh god. No, I would have preferred porn.
What? Oh, TOS.
Well, okay, well, I mean, if that's how it's gonna be, I can work with that. Hold on, give me a minute.
Wait, you need a minute? No, I could just load tons of porn. But again, TOS. Right?
Sorry, also I gotta try to say this.
Who the fuck doesn't have
Rindfleische
tons of-
Tiketierung,
there's anybody here-
Überwachung, Saufgabenübertragung.
Look, no,
I
the
think I was
video,
kind of
though. Look, there are people here who are going to tell you that they don't have tons of porn on hand, and those are goddamn liars. Don't let them do that to you. They're going to look you in the eye, and these are not your friends. All they do is lie to you all the fucking time.
Oh, dear.
Look,
All
I
right.
got porn. Look,
There are
I'm
two
not
types of
like
people
fake.
out there.
Listen,
I am terrified to see what this is.
this is not porn. Look,
Yeah.
I'm
A
screaming
fascinating
too.
and highly controversial
I have to be
chapter of prehistoric America is said to have been found on the sun-drenched shores of Catalina Island, off the coast of Southern California.
You've two
Hidden
types of
among the
people out
quiet
there.
beaches and
Those that
rolling hills,
masturbate and
there
those that
allegedly
lie.
lies proof of an ancient race of fair-haired giants,
See, Jamesy,
taller and more robust than the modern human.
Oh god damn it, no.
Ha ha ha. Look, you didn't understand. Like, this isn't the introduction, it's the indoctrination.
Can I
Come
burn
on,
the
you're going
cult?
to learn today.
Don't worry.
Say, Alien, I
can't-
don't speak French.
Hit the
Maya,
fucking
Maya,
play button.
Maya. You can't spring this type of content on
Yes,
somebody without any
can.
warning. It's 12 minutes of psychic damage.
So,
Okay.
sorry, I have to try to say this too.
Exactly.
Does all
Hit
shit
the
on
fucking play
fall?
button.
There, I said French.
Like, no.
Identified through
Play
the discovery of giant skeletons,
It's better.
giants are said to have possessed technology far advanced for the time. This assertion has sparked a vivid debate among scholars, archaeologists, and enthusiasts alike. Meanwhile, a more widely accepted archaeological treasure resides just north on Santa Rosa Island, the Arlington Springs Man. Discovered in 1959, it's the only
God, this guy is trying so hard to sound cool and
No, it's
first known human skeleton in North America.
And
These
I thought
remains
this had no
belonging
porn
to
in
a
it.
man who
Uncover
lived
the
in
truth.
15,000
What?
He sounded
Maya.
mysterious as we uncover the truth.
And Maya, I thought you said you weren't going to send him porn. You showed him a man that just loves his head.
What man doesn't love head? Like, that doesn't make sense.
His head. Okay, you can't just omit a pronoun like that, okay? That's how loss of information happens, Maya, and you can never recover from that, okay? Because mutations don't cause extra
Look,
information.
I want a show of hands of all the men in both the chats who do not love head.
You know what? I want
Vince
people.
Wilson.
That's, you know what?
Look, I may be
I'm
drunk,
gonna lose
Thousand years
that
ago,
vote.
but I'm
have
right.
significantly enriched our understanding of early human migration patterns and life in prehistoric North America. What are the stories of these discoveries that have contributed to the compelling mystery of our human past and the eternal quest for our origins? Catalina and the first giant skeletons. The Californian Channel Islands have long been of interest to scientists, explorers,
God, this is like a clip from the worst era of History Channel.
and archaeologists. They,
I'm not
and Catalina
offering
Island in
head,
particular,
Jess-
were home to
Jester.
ancient tribes of Native Americans known as the
I'm
Tongva,
just stating
who
the
settled
truth.
there some 8,000
Jester.
years ago.
I'm sorry.
In 1913, Dr. Forstenden, a German naturalist who was visiting Catalina, found what was apparently the skeleton of an 8-foot-tall male buried amongst artifacts and relics that were not consistent with those typically recovered from Native American burial grounds. They included a mysterious flat stone that bore unknown symbols.
Dr. Forstenland had been investigating a legend he had heard relating to Catalina's history, and the skeleton appeared to confirm it. A race of giants had once inhabited this land. However, due to being buried in hard black sand on Avalon Bay, which showed signs of being burnt at some point, the bones turned to dust as they were raised. The only bones excavated intact were one whole foot, the jawbone, and the skull. Therefore, the discovery of Forstenland's giant could not be confirmed.
Wait.
It's hard to say where the rumors of the Catalina giant are.
But remember yesterday, Roger had these tested. And they came back
No.
positive for something. There were numbers in a Word document from a DNA something.
Oh my god.
DNA.
Oh, we've had this DNA tested. We've had this DNA tested. We've had this DNA tested. I hate you, Roger.
Yeah. Yeah. Roger tested the giant aliens. So they are real.
And let me guess.
Roger has the
He
DNA
sure did.
in a Word document.
And let me guess, the report came back as no collagen found.
Well, that's the thing. He never actually gave the result. He just said they had been tested.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were totally tested. Trust me, bro.
Totally. Oh,
Originated, but there did exist a precedent regarding alleged unusual skeletons being found on the Channel Islands. This included the discovery of a 7-foot-tall skeleton with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. This specimen is claimed to have had 2 rows of teeth, a trait said to have previously been observed in Channel Island skeletons. It was theorized that evolution had taken a slightly different path here due to the isolated environment. With a reputation for turning up fascinating archaeological finds, the Channel Islands continued to attract archaeologists and anthropologists who dreamed big. Glidden's discovery. At the beginning of the 20th century, an ex-carpenter and amateur self-taught archaeologist named Ralph Glidden began to dig. Glidden had grown up on Catalina Island from the age of 15, and was, by most accounts, a strange and eccentric man. Glidden developed a personal fascination with the local Native American burial sites. He had grand aspirations, having read about discoveries and accomplishments of professional archaeologists around the world, and now sought to take his own excavations to the next level. Glidden knew that to stand out and to make his name, he would need something big. Glidden then hired a publicist and falsified his credentials, referring to himself as a doctor or a professor of archaeology, even though he had not graduated from high school.
Yeah, I need something big. That's what she said.
What?
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 Walrus
What?
test? What?
What?
Wait.
Between 1919 and 1928, he dug up hundreds of Indian graves on the Channel Islands, adding thousands of artifacts to his collection, featuring ancient arrowheads, clubs, flutes made from human bones, and beads believed to have been used as currency.
Right.
Glidden excavated as many as 800 ancient...
Right. Beads that were used for currency, and I'm guessing they're all attached on one long rod with a pin at the end.
Well, I mean, there are cultures that have used, like, beads and shells as currency. Like, some of the earliest currency we think we have.
You're missing the point, but I'm not going to explain it.
Oh. God damn it, Beamsy.
burial sites, primarily those of the native Tongva American Indians. Amongst his discoveries were what he claimed to be the bones of a race of giants, which he described as being European in appearance rather than Native American, with fair hair and blue eyes. The skeletons.
No, how? No.
Which ranged in height from 7 to 9 feet, were claimed by Glidden to be the prehistoric ancestors of the Native Americans whose graves he had been turning over. In 1930, Glidden declared to the papers that he had unearthed the skeleton of a princess who had been buried upright in an urn with her fingers clasping the rim. Arranged around her were the skeletons of 64 children. 5 feet beneath this site, he found the skeleton of a man who measured 7 feet 8 inches in height, with a spear skewering his left
Hey,
abdomen.
can you? I need
Glidden's
to see
giant.
the video.
Huh?
I made a fantastic comment, so I either need you to highlight it or say it out loud.
There it was highlighted.
The tallest of which was 9 feet 2 inches, were apparently also highly intelligent and possessed relatively advanced technologies, which far exceeded those believed by popular science to have existed at the time. Glidden maintained that their technologies and knowledge had vanished mysteriously, along with most of the giants themselves, most likely in some sort of extinction event. He claimed that the native humans had worshipped them, which is why they were generally found to have been buried in ceremonial ways. According to Glidden, theirs was not just a small group of individuals who had evolved in isolation, but an entire civilization that had been lost to time. The macabre.
So, according to this one crackpot grave robber, lovely.
Yeah, that's why he was holding one of the beads that he cut open, just to show how big it was.
Right, fine, Maya. There you go.
Collection.
Thank you.
Glidden sought to capitalize on his remarkable finds, which were beginning to receive media attention. In 1924, he founded the Catalina Museum of Island Indians, where he stored and displayed his collection, which was, in his words, quote, a unique and weirdly spectacular institution. The museum featured stacks of bones taken from the looted graves of Native American Indians. Glidden furnished the space decoratively, using the remains he had dug up, and even fashioning cornices from shoulder blades. He built shelving from larger bones, and decorated the walls and ceiling with skulls.
Can I just say I hate this? Like,
This guy's psycho.
Yes.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, what is?
You can say that. Like I live for these comments.
I'm not Native American, but this is just this is horrible.
That's it's the glory of being like what do you call it? What do you call it? A liberal what do you call it? Like a cuck liberal socialist
Soy
commie?
boy,
I don't know.
whatever.
Soy boy. Yeah, soy boy, cuck liberal.
I mean, like,
Yeah,
granted,
you get to empathize with groups that have nothing to do with you.
it's just like I'm sure
It's awesome.
archaeology at the time wasn't much better, but
It's Hitler.
like I was at least nowadays we do our best to like show respect because we know we're digging up people and
No,
we
there's no
disturb things as
respect
little
for
as
it.
possible. And
Are these quote unquote people, not like
Yes.
non-white men? Because like, are they really people?
speaking as someone who
Yes.
actually took several classes under an archaeologist who is currently doing digs in Central America, yes, they're very much treated as people because they were people.
Look, are you like, what do you call it for, like savages? Because
I am for people being treated as people. I am for the freedom of all sentient beings.
yeah, no, but like these are dead savages, and like they're white men want things,
I hate it.
and we can't like, infringe upon the rights of alive white men. That would be wrong, or something.
Well, he's not alive now, so that's a comfort.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, that's a comfort.
Yeah, I mean, that is a comfort. Yeah, no, there's more. There's so much more.
Glidden placed his discoveries in macabre poses to unsettle and thrill his visitors, whom he charged 35 cents each for entry. However, once inside, they found
Unsettle and thrill is this guy is just like a closet Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. It's
little
a
evidence.
white
of
guy.
His
I mean-
Jeffrey
archaeological theories
Dahmer.
claimed
Jeffrey
larger
Dahmer
bones-
was also a white guy. I'm just saying.
To be clear, this guy is about as non-out of the closet Jeffrey Dahmer as you can get. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
I guess.
this is like, hey, I might eat people. I don't know.
Like, okay, I dig up bones
He
for
might.
a living.
He
This
might.
is
We don't-
horrifying. Or I want to. This
You're
is
welcome.
horrifying.
Yeah.
Glidden's museum to be
This
fake.
is some of the stuff that make the cut for Bad Science Sunday. It wasn't horrifying enough.
And in fact purchased from a gift shop. Glidden's claims of giants were generally refuted by mainstream science, who criticized his lack of proper methodologies. Some media labeled Glidden a hoaxer, and in 1950, he closed his museum. Glidden attempted to sell his collection, still believing it to be worth a great deal. However, it was bought in 1968 for just $5,000 by the Wrigley family, who had made their fortune in chewing gum and had expressed an interest in preserving the history of Catalina Island. The Wrigleys later donated Glidden's finds to the local Catalina Museum.
I mean, that's something. The methods of obtaining them are still horrific in the initial display, but oh man, I don't. It'd be nice if they got reburied at some point, but that's probably practically impossible because it sounds like the dude didn't document anything.
You can do the best you can.
The mystery of the first humans.
Yeah, yes.
The true nature of the first people to have inhabited the Channel Islands has been the subject of debate. And at the center of this debate is a set of human remains referred to as the Arlington Springs Man, discovered around a decade after Glidden's museum closed. If Glidden's methods had been more sound, this monumental discovery might have been his. However, the bones were discovered by an archaeologist named Orr, who suspected that they might reveal something of the island's true past.
An archaeologist named Orr. Is that first name or last?
Yes. It's like Cher.
It's a mononym.
I could not at the time.
Okay, who's your source?
Yes.
Jizzy Johnson.
Look, the sources always trust me, bro. You watch our shows, right?
I've seen a few of them. I usually have D&D during them, but I usually catch them after or fall asleep to them.
Maya, we should play D&D.
I'm trying to.
What's the meanest thing you've ever said to me?
That I've ever said to you?
Yeah.
There's not a chance it passes.
Not giving me reparations.
So, I'm not.
I want reparations.
Okay, well.
Oh dear. Sorry, I just heard a zipper, and I'm gonna press play.
I've anticipated the importance of this find. The Arlington Springs Man was found protruding from the sides of a canyon cliff on Santa Rosa Island, 100 miles northwest of Catalina. The bones were buried 37 feet below the cliff top, among sediments that appeared to be from the Pleistocene era, which ended some 11,700 years ago. Understanding the limitations of modern dating methods, Orr preserved his find by excavating the entire block of earth, encasing it in plaster, and moving it to the Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History, where it would wait until technology had advanced far enough that accurate dating could be carried out. Eventually, in the late 1980s, when Orr was in retirement, the Arlington Springs Man's remains were unwrapped. A sample was taken from a femur bone, and a radiocarbon dating expert found the remains to be an incredible 13,000 years old, making them the oldest reliably dated human remains in America.
I don't believe that's true. I could be wrong, but well, wait, 13th? No, well, human remains. It's complicated. They're. I guess remains. I have Google.
Wait, Google helps you dispose of human remains?
It can.
It does a lot of things. I mean,
shit.
Yeah.
Well, I like this.
I use ChatGPT for
Might
a lot of similar things, but if you just ask it to help you hide a dead body, though, it gets all up in your business, and it's like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. I'm like, okay, well.
Look, Google, I just need to know a good place to hide a dead body. I don't need you all up in my business and shit.
Huh? Oh wait, I didn't know this. There was a human found at the laboratory.
You are Victoria saying we should not Google that. The cops love looking for those Google searches. Apparently,
but I mean, my history is filled.
You know what? You are Victoria. Good looking out. See, that's because you don't listen to You Are Victoria enough. And you do that at your own peril.
Huh. But
I'm sorry, I interrupted
just,
you.
apparently there has been a human found at the La Brea tar pit, and I never knew that. And it is suggested that she was a murder victim. Interesting.
Somebody didn't just walk up to the La Brea tar pit and fall right in. They actually had to be murdered before they fell right in. I am shocked.
Huh. Yeah, come on, I'm trying to find, like, I can't find a solid answer. The oldest dated appear to be about 13,000 years ago. So, I mean, that's it's not too off, but questionable still.
The presence of human life on the Channel Islands in such an early period of human history suggests that watercraft were being used as a method of coastal migration in America far earlier than historians had previously thought.
That is actually a hypothesis in archaeology, yes.
What? A fact?
Well,
God damn it.
It's suggested that the first well, it's suggested that the first Native Americans followed the coastline during the Ice Age when the coastline was much lower. They used boats to just travel around like a lot of people did in like to Australia or to all Polynesia or the Pacific Islands. Basically the same process. I think it's mostly based on some artifacts from, I want to say, Chile. I could be wrong about that. The only problem is most of the ancient coastlines are fully submerged now, so we have very little data to work with. But it's possible. Cool.
It also made the possibility of Glidden's giants even more distant. As archaeological methods and technologies advance, excavations on the Channel Islands continue, and researchers hope that we will soon know more about the life of the Arlington Springs man and his people. A strange and mysterious case. Many age-old cultures have told stories of abnormally tall humanoid creatures living amongst or before them. Also, many skeletons over 7 feet in height have been found around the world, many featuring other abnormalities, such as elongated skulls and immense jawbones housing multiple rows of teeth.
No.
Across North America, over 1,000 accounts of skeletons more than 7 feet tall have been unearthed. Despite this apparent wealth of evidence, modern science remains skeptical of the existence of giants. Discussing Ralph Glidden's discoveries, one Santa Barbara Museum of Natural History curator said, quote, "These reports are apocryphal, as far as I have been able to determine. For example, there's a historic photo of Glidden in the background and the burial in the foreground, merely creating an illusion that the skeleton is somehow a giant. However, the reason why numerous comparable discoveries have been made on Catalina and the Channel Islands remains unknown. The early finds cannot be confirmed nor disproven. It seems in retrospect that it may have been these earlier apparent discoveries that inspired Glidden's hoax." In 2013, the Catalina Island Museum created what the museum's director called, quote, "a disturbing and troubling exhibition." It was titled The Strange and Mysterious Case of Dr. Glidden, and sought to establish Ralph Glidden as an exploitative grave robbing liar. It is now estimated that throughout his career, Glidden desecrated the graves of around 4,000 individuals. While Glidden's claims have been refuted, there are surprising effects that isolated evolution can have on a species, and several prime examples of this have been discovered on the Channel Islands using sound scientific methodologies. In contrast to Glidden's assertions, there is substantial evidence that large animals frequently adapt their size in accordance with their habitats, often resulting in notably smaller creatures when isolated on islands, a phenomenon known as insular dwarfism. This is exemplified by the pygmy mammoth, a dwarf elephant less than half the size of
insular dwarfism or island dwarfism. It's actually fairly common.
And gigantism.
Wait, did he say that they increase their
And
size?
It depends.
They shrink. It depends. There's like a common size they converge to.
The common trend is big things get smaller and small things get bigger. Like the dodo was originally just a
there was
pigeon,
dwarfism, and they
3 feet tall.
Yeah, I could. But I thought he was talking about dwarfism, but it increased their size.
No, he's saying large
I could be
animals
wrong.
became small on different islands.
Small on like Yeah, there's been a couple
The-
of like I would say islands, but okay, maybe not untrue
Yep.
islands. Yeah, like was it Greenland, Australia?
Well,
Maybe Easter Island, I think was one.
so this is a drawing of a mammoth from Crete, much smaller.
Yay!
There's a famous, or there's a
Yeah,
really
does
famous
anybody know
one
the
off
difference
of.
between an elephant and a mammoth?
I know there is a difference. I don't know what the difference is.
Okay.
A good example is the dodo.
I brought that up a second ago.
Did the dodo be
Yeah,
bigger?
they were originally just pigeons.
Pigeons. Oh, that's cool. I've never had pigeon. Is there anybody here from the South? I heard you all have to have pigeon. It's like a rite of passage. Does it taste like chicken?
I think I'm a little bit further south than any one of you could be.
You don't live anywhere. You're from an imaginary land. You're in like a different dimension or some shit. I think you're just lying to us.
That's why you saw. I mean, there's a paycheck for Ember the other day.
Yeah, it just sounds like an English accent, and you're all like lying to us about where you're actually from.
Well, actually, I should have an English accent considering I'm Welsh.
You're the descendant of a criminal, like multiple criminals,
No.
right?
No, that's me.
No.
Maya, that's
Oh,
me.
yeah, slavery. Give me reparations.
I'm
Goddamn
like doing.
slavers.
I'm trying to get you monetized. I'm doing the best I can. Okay,
Look, listen to me. Dr. Tapioca Weasel used to own my ancestors.
Oh boy.
And it's not fair. I need reparations. And hashtag gimme reparations. Anytime you see him, any chat, doesn't matter. You're gonna know who it's from.
Weasel reparate hashtag.
Weasel reparations. Every chat, yes. Let's get that trending.
Its Columbian mammoth predecessors. Its remains were first unearthed on the Channel Islands in 1856, and subsequent discoveries were made in the same strata where the Arlington Springs man was found. Another illustration of insular dwarfism is the island fox, the tiniest fox species in North America. It's exclusively indigenous to the Channel Islands and can be observed there today. Even with substantial discoveries of unusually large skeletal remains spread throughout the continent, the mainstream scientific community continues to express doubt about the existence of ancient giants.
I hate this. I hated this. Thank you, Maya. I hate it.
I love Victoria. We are all Victoria.
Oh boy. Well, I do think I am going to call this to a close, though.
Reparations.
Does anyone have any closing words for
it started out like
for the topic?
Yeah, racist or evil, and slavery was bad. And everybody who has slavery in their family history, that was me in particular, reparations. So I think anytime there's a goddamn like 5 weasels in a trench coat, they should pay me.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And I don't even fucking need it because like I have bootstraps. And those aren't even a thing. And yet I acquire them. So I need like reparations because like I found like the unattainable, but only from weasels.
Go drunk, Maya. You're home.
Look, the whole chat agrees with me.
How about you, Tapioca?
Seeing, like,
any last thoughts?
trending in both of the chats. Yes, weasel reparations. But if we don't stand together. Bree, you're late.
Yeah, I was at work.
Not you. Bree woke up.
You actually addressed the topic
Bree
of evolution.
You're not. Look, don't make me go full Mama Bear. You need to talk.
It's not. It's stupid.
Bree.
It was around before.
She is in the chat.
Is she?
You're not.
I don't see her.
Recognizing.
Oh no, there she is.
Bree. She's in my chat. Yes. So recognize Bray, who's late.
Well, you know, I'm not perfect,
Hey,
Maya.
Bray, I love you. Oh, and I'm also a little drunk. Cheers.
Oh dear. Well,
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Any thoughts
I
on
rudely
evolution
interrupted you.
causing racism?
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
When was evolution conceived of?
it's totally
When
bullshit.
was Darwin? When was
When
Darwin?
was
the historical
reparations ever
of
given?
racism? Maya, let me say a thing. When was
Right,
Darwin
reparations.
the like ultimate king of all racism? Apparently, because of evolution. When did he do his work?
1859.
Yeah. So it was like it
Was it
was
before
after
reparations were given?
1850. And like I think that there was a racism like way before that. So that's
Just
some
one,
hot
but Darwin made 2 racisms.
he did the other racism, and that's terrible. But he didn't though.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as terrible as like not giving reparations, but yeah, it's still bad.
Beamsy, do you have any final thoughts?
Give me thoughts on reparations, Beansy. All right, I'm so being a bitch. I'm shutting up. Look at me. Look at me muting and bullshit. I'm gonna play.
Okay, she muted herself. I didn't mute her.
You gotta pretend that we can still hear her and that she's saying like really weird, like screwed up stuff. Because she probably is.
I have only said
hey.
true things throughout the duration of the stream. God damn it! I mean, you know, and that includes you owning my ancestors and owing me reparations, and then muting again.
Oh, a fun thing in chat popped up from Salian for some reason. By mass, humans do actually are the most endowed of all great apes. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this trench coat
on
has an entire weasel slot devoted for that, so makes sense.
God damn. Oh boy. Well. Oh jeez. Have a good evening, everyone. Oh boy.
Right.
Adios.